They said this was a no-name defense. Well, how about no points surrendered in the second half of the opener?
Meanwhile, Corporate Greg and Johnny I's Raiders with the big win in the Mile High City. And poor producer Brian Cohen's Chargers. He is a Chargers fan, right?
Yeah.
They choke again, Jack. Oh, it's delightful. Plus, we're going to get the scoop. Yeah, I know you never thought I'd mention producer Tyler in it open. But you know, he's a Seattle fan. And he's got the John Ireland fantasy team in the palm of his hand. We'll get the latest updates.
Yeah, we will.
And USC, number 5 in the country, Jack. That and so much more. A Rams Reaction Monday. We got a new fall lineup. Let's do it. Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon.
Isn't it a good afternoon?
How great is it to have football back?
It's so. I mean, the world is
It
just
is
a better
literally
place when there's football.
not a game changer, a life changer.
Yeah, it
I
really
did not leave my couch yesterday.
I
didn't leave my couch Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
I golfed in the morning, then went straight to football.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Such a great week. And if you have Spectrum Cable,
It's over!
They officially resolved. I said if they didn't get Monday Night Football on, I was gone.
And I think a lot of people felt the way you did.
Yeah.
I think today was D-Day for those two sides to make a deal. And I was in a weird spot. I'm very glad they made it. And the Lakers' biggest account is Spectrum.
Sure.
And so now it's kumbaya. They made a deal.
Beautiful.
Everybody gets to watch Monday Night Football. And I need Buffalo to win tonight because I'm in a confidence pool.
Yes.
And I had a bad week because there were so many upsets.
Yes.
But I hung a lot. I hung an 11. You know what a confidence pool is?
Yeah. Where you give it a number and that.
Yeah,
this
I've got
is the most
11 on
important
Buffalo
game.
tonight.
Okay. Yeah, they're
so
going
I
to
need
lose.
that. A lot of people are picking the Jets.
Yeah, I like the Jets to win tonight. I like the Jets. I don't know. For some
Level of surprise at how well the Rams played for you on a scale of 1 to 10 is what?
11.
Yeah. I was shocked. I texted you, like, we're on a group text, and I text you, I go, is it just me or are the Rams playing not good but great?
Yeah, they looked fantastic all day. They dominated, especially in the second half. They had a couple of, missed field goal and special teams thing in the first half.
Did Marr miss a field goal? I saw him make
Marr
2.
got blocked field goal. He had a field goal blocked. But then he did make a long one. I think he made a 56-yard one. And, what can you say? The defense, a lot of young dogs flying around the field. They held Seattle to nothing in the second half. Puka Nacua was spectacular. Tutu Atwell was great. Kyron Williams was really good. Matthew Stafford never hit the dirt the entire game. The offensive line did its job. I mean, there are so many positives to take from that game. But as Coach Sean McVay said, it's just one game.
It is, and here come the Niners.
Yes.
Who looked probably, if you were going to rank teams that looked the
Dallas,
best over the
San
weekend,
Francisco.
yeah, they're top 2.
Yeah.
It's either the Cowboys or the Niners look the best, but I think the Rams are top 5.
Can I ask you a question
on
about
that list?
Can I ask you about Kyron Williams?
Yeah.
So Cam Akers got the start, obviously, but then Kyron Williams had probably 3/4 of the snap. It felt like
He did. He got.
So what is that about?
Yeah,
Well,
I think once he ran for one touchdown, they wanted to give him a shot to run for a second one.
He had
ran
a chance
for 2
to run
touchdowns.
He had a third one.
Yeah,
But he ended on
almost made the
And,
third.
he was
and
on the
remember,
1-yard line.
Cam Akers, they basically AWOL'd him last year for about a month.
But everyone said that. I've talked to DeMarco Farr
I
about it. I
told
talked
you
to a
this.
bunch of people, and they all said that Cam Akers was going to be the guy this year. It's all going to be Cam Akers. And then Kyron Williams just came out and had every snap.
I don't really think it matters as long as you're competent. Remember that one year that Todd Gurley was generally considered the best running back in the league, and Gurley got hurt, and they brought in Anderson.
T.J. Anderson.
To
T.J.
run.
Anderson, yeah, he
and
was critical
Anderson
for
was like unbelievable. I
Yep.
think McVay's offense benefits anybody who runs hard.
Yeah.
So Kyron Williams was running hard. They just rode with him.
And, you got to look at yesterday and say, man, Coach Sean McVay coached his ass off. I mean, seriously, he's got a bunch of guys that we honestly – I looked at the field and looked at the players and thought there are a bunch of guys here who I don't know. On defense, I know Ernest Jones. I know Kobe Durant. I know some of these guys, but there are guys I don't even know that are out on the field, and they're finding a way to get things done under Raheem Morris.
You know they gave up 3 yards in the second half?
I know.
3 total yards in the second half. That's defense.
They were 7 of 12, I think, on 3-point conversions, and Seattle was 2 of 7.
You got to give it up to Raheem Morris because to be able to put a bunch of no-name guys in there and still get a great defensive effort.
Yeah,
it was stunning.
Yeah, it's
All right,
fantastic.
so
But, they also own Seattle up in Seattle. They typically
They lost
do
one
well
last year,
but they typically do well up in Seattle.
Yeah, it's a tough place to play, though.
It is.
And by the way, none of these guys have necessarily been there before. For a lot of guys, this was their first NFL game, and they went to Lumen Field and dealt with what they call the 12. Right?
It was a great victory.
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to the show, you know that I have basically turned over my team to Tyler Whitman in fantasy football. And Tyler,
Producer Tyler, yes.
Yeah, Tyler, this was your first chance to see the team you drafted in action. I told you to take Austin Eckler. You took Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 2 points. Austin Eckler had 12.
Well, Burrow was terrible.
Right.
Yeah, Burrow had a really bad game.
We played Mason's team this week. On Friday, you guaranteed a victory.
Yep.
You could still win.
Unlikely.
If Dalvin Cook runs for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And Garrett Wilson does nothing.
Yeah, where is your head at? By the way, the score right now is last place Mace, 58, and Team Irish Luck, my team that Tyler drafted for me, 34. Okay? So you are losing by 24 points going into tonight. Your 34 points, Tyler, second lowest in the league so far. How are you feeling about your team?
John, this might be the worst fantasy football team I have ever drafted.
Really?
I told you.
He's on board now, too.
It only took 1 week for you to come around.
Look, here's the thing about week 1, and I stand by this.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
The Monday night
Let the
game.
man speak.
All right, go ahead.
Week 1, I've always said, is a coin toss. Okay, you never know.
said that.
You never know.
A coin toss if you lost 10 straight.
Who's going to be on your bench that's going to perform well? Who's going to be starting that's going to perform well? And I would say 50% of the time I win week 1, 50% of the time I lose week 1. After seeing how wonky the settings are in this league,
I tried to tell him
this league that
Did I
you
not try
trapped
and
me
tell
inside
you?
of.
Did I not try and tell you that all that matters is touchdowns?
I feel so trapped, John.
Oh, boy.
This is a box that I can barely breathe inside of. But here's the reality. The reality is that I had Jacoby Myers on the bench, who looks like he's going to be
Concussion.
Jimmy G's guy.
Does he have a concussion?
Looks like
concussion
it.
happens frequently. He
Yeah.
looks like he's going to be, all things aside, let's say he's healthy for week 2. He looks like he's going to be Jimmy G's guy, which is good. The rest is kind of uncertain. Here's what I'll say about Geno Smith and DK Metcalf. Nobody told them that there are 4 quarters in a football game. They only showed up for 2. It's abnormal behavior for them. Hopefully week 2 will be better. This week is a wash. Okay,
Tyler,
It's
you know what
not-
my
it's
definition
not
of
great.
abnormal behavior would
It's
be?
not great. Yeah, go ahead.
Taking a team with 40% Seahawks.
Yeah,
when no one else
there's
wanted
only 3
those
Seahawks
guys.
on the team.
There's 4, right?
You have
Okay,
kicker,
don't include
quarterback,
Here's
receiver.
another wonky thing about this league.
what are you gonna
You're required to draft 3 quarterbacks,
Correct.
but you're only you
don't
can
have to-
drop them
you can
as
drop
soon as
them.
you draft them.
Yeah,
Why
correct.
have that be a
Well,
requirement?
no. Okay, so Tyler, here's the one silver lining that could. I don't think it will, but it could say, I'm actually going to bet against my own team. I won $5,000 this week.
Oh, right. He did win 5.
I'm going to ride this team to a mythical money. I don't know if I can
You don't
catch
get
you.
that till tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but are you predicting Dalvin Cook's going to score 24 points by himself?
He could,
He could. He absolutely could. And
no.
Garrett Wilson will be shut out.
Yeah.
just like Jahmyr Gibbs was.
Hey,
Tyler, if you finish as bad as you did in week 1, you now pick right now. If the season ended tonight, you'd pick second on the waiver wire, so you can scour the waiver wire.
Nakua is not on anybody's
I've already put in
team.
the request.
There you go. So that's
Yeah, and this is exactly what
That's
Matthew
where-
Berry was telling you guys the other day, which is this is not a bad foundation. This team has a good foundation. There are just things that need to change on a
You
week-to-week
just
basis.
heard what you wanted to hear.
No, I
yeah,
heard
because
exactly
Matthew
what I heard.
Berry said that team was awful.
No, he did not.
Yeah,
he
he
said
did.
Jamar
That's a direct
Chase is.
quote.
He said Jamar Chase is the least concerning part of this team, and that's who you, John, are emphasizing is arguably
Well,
the worst pick
but here's-
because you think Eckler should have gone.
Here's
and
the-
picked a
here's
pick
the
like
thing.
that.
What I
by
don't
the way, I
understand-
overrated Chase. He only had 1 point.
Yeah. What I don't understand,
That's
Ireland,
not normal,
it
though.
was your team. Why did you not tell him outright to take Austin Eckler with the number 2 pick?
Because
You should have dictated that.
no, at one point when it's not like a overreaction Monday.
Yeah.
We will go over the emails I sent to Tyler
Oh.
before this.
One email.
No, I sent you 2. I sent you one.
The one email that you sent that matters is the email of your mock draft, which
Right.
evidently you must have been in with 8 other robots. Because the guys that you suggested I take round by round weren't long.
Well, yeah, and I mentioned that. I said, Mahomes will be gone, Josh Allen will be gone. But, so if you're following this, the bet I made with Tyler was if he finishes in the top 5, I'm paying the league fee.
Yes.
Tyler takes home all the money.
Yep.
With whatever he wins. But if he finishes in the bottom 3, he has to pay all the money.
Yes.
So really,
all the money including the league fee? Or are you still paying the league fee?
Oh, yeah.
Do I pay the lost money?
You pay the lost money.
Okay.
I'll pay the league fee. I'm
Okay.
not going to stick with that.
Yeah, don't
All
stick
right.
him with the loss.
Just
But
because I got to be able to afford rent, you know?
yeah. But I think there should be an embarrassment component if he finishes dead
That's
last.
fine.
Dead last.
I completely
Dead
agree.
last.
Yes.
We'll
Dead
come up
last.
with something.
I'm a big fan of the embarrassment component because it's really what makes fantasy
and
fun.
whatever
Yeah.
we come up with,
Yep.
Yep.
will also apply to Mason.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm in.
If either one of you finish dead last,
Oh, yeah, I'm not finishing dead
You
last.
have to do the
Yeah,
embarrassment.
Okay, here's
I
what I'll
feel
say about
comfortable.
Mace's team. Mace, you had a good week 1. If Maher can continuously get you 15
And
points,
he will.
you stand a chance.
Yeah, no, Maher, by the way, Maher.
Kickers and quarterbacks are severely overvalued in our league.
Maher had but he
was
kicked
his
a
highest scorer,
56
John.
yard. He was scored
Maher
more
put
points
up
for me
15
than anybody.
points.
Maher has got a
Which is
big
twice as
leg.
many as your hand-picked quarterback Geno Smith.
Maher was the same guy that was the Dallas that
Correct.
that missed like 5 extra points
Correct.
in a row.
Correct.
But
missed 3
kickers
field
are
goals
so
all
weird.
last
Like
year.
last year, Graham Gano
Yeah.
was like one of the most reliable kickers in the league and had like 50 yards. Came out last night, hooked an extra point, missed a field goal, got one blocked in return for a touch. He was awful.
Yeah, terrible.
So it's weird. But Tyler, I think you could be in serious trouble.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. All right, coming up next for you, there's a brand new. Have you heard about the new show?
The new
show every morning at 9:30.
No.
Okay, I'll explain it. Bergman, do you know what I'm going to explain?
I didn't, but now I do.
Yeah, now you do. We'll do that coming up next. Hey, we are hosting a poker tournament. I love when we do this. Poker tournament at Commerce Casino on Saturday, September 30. There will be $5,000 in cash prizes. Buy-in is absolutely free. Go to espnla.com and register today, and we will see you September 30th at Commerce Casino. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. could feel down as a Rams fan today. So Saturday, I had a moment, John. I had a moment. So before the SC game.
Did you go to the SC game?
Yes,
okay.
I popped in. It was over very quickly. I didn't stay very long. So, but we went to...
wasn't it like 49-3 at halftime?
Oh, it was over. Yeah, it was just like off to the races from the start. So we went to see Les Miserables at the Pantages Theater, which is...
You didn't have to hear Russell Crowe sing,
No,
did you?
they had an actual good singer there. And so I'm walking out of the theater, and it's corner of Hollywood and Vine, and I'm walking out of this crowd, and somebody else, "Hey, Mason, can I get a selfie?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do a selfie." And I thought, who would have ever thought I could be at the corner of Hollywood and Vine?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
The USC game started at 7:30.
Correct.
What time was Les Mis?
2:00.
Oh, you went to a matinee.
Yeah, we went to a matinee.
Gotcha.
But I thought, just getting shouted out at the corner of Hollywood and Vine, I'm like, wow, I kind of made it in the world.
There you go.
Made it. All right, so, John, you are a fan of the Blue Review, which is an everyday...
Which is Clinton Yates, sometimes Bergman, sometimes Parker's going in there,
Correct.
right?
Now it is official that every day it's going to be live. Do
it live!
At 9:30 in the morning on our YouTube channel. Bergman, how did this come about?
We've been talking about it for a little while, and it's decided that now to start it off in September to lead up to the postseason, we're going to do it live every single day from, not every single day, Monday through Friday at 9:30. YouTube channel.
You're going to regret this.
No, you're not going to regret this. You're going to love this. And it leads right into the YouTube of Travis and Sleep.
Yeah, so how's Parker on this show?
So it was a little bit rough today.
Does Parker do like DeAndre does and just keep saying that you have great stuff coming up?
We got great stuff today. We got some really good stuff.
Without ever really bringing any great stuff. Yeah.
No, he does a great job. He kind of hosts it, and he just throws stuff.
He hosts it?
Yeah, he throws it to both me and Clinton.
Wow.
Well, here's my prediction in terms of attendance by the end of the baseball season. Okay, so that's what, 2 months?
Yep.
Parker will do the most shows.
Yep.
Clinton will do second most, and Greg will be third.
Why do you think I'll be third?
Because you'll say, I'm busy, I've got called into another meeting.
I mean, those things do happen,
right.
but I'm going to...
The other two guys don't have the outside responsibilities that you do.
Right, but I'm guaranteeing that I'll do some shows.
58 straight shows.
I'm going to do some
I will be on it at times.
You know what? It's going to be really good. It's during the playoffs. You're going to do it every morning after the playoffs
yes,
live.
That's the most important thing.
If one of them can pitch, it'll be good during the playoffs.
Bobby Miller, Ryan Pepio,
Emmett Sheehan.
So seriously, if the
Michael
playoffs
Grove,
if the playoffs
Gavin
started,
Stone.
Hey Greg, if the playoffs started today, could Kershaw pitch or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
he pushes
game one.
Start back.
Game one would be Bobby Miller.
Yes.
Yep.
Who's game two?
Ryan Pepio.
Who's game three?
Probably Sheehan.
Well, whoa. We can't drop Kershaw from the rotation.
Oh, no, I think we are.
No, we can't.
I am.
I'm not.
I don't think he's
You're
throws,
dropping him from
He
the
doesn't
rotation.
even throw his fastball 90 miles an hour now.
Yeah, I know, but you've got to let him work it out. He's Clayton friggin' Kershaw.
His arm's
and
dead.
You're going to go with Emmett Sheehan over Clayton
Wait,
Kershaw.
your logic is flawed. You got to let him work it out as Clayton Kershaw. What do you want to pitch? Using that logic, put Sandy Koufax out there. How old is he? 80?
He's got 3 weeks to work it out.
Not only am I putting him over Kershaw, Emmett Sheehan over Kershaw, I'm putting him over Lance Lynn, too.
Yeah, well, I was wondering when you were going to mention Lance Lynn.
Because he sucks.
Yeah.
No, he just gives up a lot of home runs.
I love.
And 8 runs a game.
He gave up his 40th home run last week, and somebody asked him about it. He said, after 30, who gives up blank? Such a great line.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
Absolutely right.
I mean, every pitch he throws, I think it's going over the fence. So,
all right. So, John, it is 9/11, and you like to do a plea every year.
Yes, I have. I forgot about this, but I will do it now.
Yes,
I will. Give me 30 seconds to do a PSA.
Do it.
All right. If you've never seen the movie United 93, Brian Cohen, have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think I have, no.
Okay. It is, I had the most visceral reaction to that movie that I've ever had at a film. I had to walk around the theater after it was over twice just to kind of catch my breath. Here is the story behind the movie United 93. On 9/11, of course, everybody knows about the 2 planes that hit the towers. And there was another plane that hit the Pentagon. And there was one plane that was heading back to D.C., probably headed for the White House. And a group of passengers in the back of the plane were using cell phones to call their loved ones, and their loved ones told them, hey, the country's under attack. 3 planes have already hit their targets. One hit the Pentagon, 2 hit the World Trade Center. Yours is probably going to the White House. And a group of strangers commandeered the cockpit and took the plane down, and it crashed in Pennsylvania, killing everybody on board. And in the movie, it's done in real time. So it starts when the terrorists check out of their hotel in Boston, and it ends when the plane hits the ground about an hour and 45 minutes later. The people in the movie, many of them, there's no big actors in it at all. You won't recognize anyone. The people in the movie, especially the people in the control tower, were the people who were actually in the tower that day. And it is directed by Paul Greengrass, who is more famous for anything else for all the Bourne movies.
Yes.
And it is so well done and so riveting that it will stay with you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
So if you have never seen the movie United 93, it'll start popping up on
HBO and all those.
Yeah, all the seeing today, tomorrow, the next day. Record it. If you've like my son was born a month after or 2 months after 9/11. He was born on December 16th, 2001. If you want to try and explain 9/11 to somebody who wasn't alive, this is a great vehicle to do it. It will bother you for obvious reasons.
Oh, and it will stay with you and it will haunt you for a while.
It is so incredibly well done that I can't recommend it more. Greg, have you seen it?
I have not.
All right. So one day when Riley's old enough, she's getting close. Maybe there now. She's 11?
Yeah, one more. 11, almost 12.
And you're trying to explain to her what happened on this day, which now 22 years ago. United 93 is a great teaching vehicle.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen it, check it out. I won't dwell on it anymore. I just can't say enough about how good that movie is.
And by the way, one of the guys that helped bring down that plane was Mark Bingham, who was a
rugby player at Cal.
From Cal.
Yeah, gay.
Happened to be a gay guy, and led that charge to take down that flight in Pennsylvania as opposed to going back to Washington. So,
and matter of fact, Bingham, who's a big guy because he's a rugby
6'4",
player, put himself in. He goes, look. And these guys are all whispering to each other in the back of the plane. This is all in the movie. And so imagine you're on a plane, and you don't know anybody else on the plane.
Right.
You know, so let's say all 5 of us are on a plane, and we don't know each other. And this guy, Mark Bingham, who was talking to his family on the ground, somehow they got cell phones to work, said to everybody else, look, I'm 6'4", and I'm a rugby player. I'm going to get that guy out of the pilot's seat by hook or by crook. They're going to kill me, but I'm going to get him out of there, and I'm going to take the plane down. As soon as I run through, basically picture a blocker running through a kickoff wall.
Yep.
He goes, I may not get to the door, but I'm going to take 2 or 3 of these guys with me. And when I do, when I start tackling these guys, and it'd be like me going to you, Tyler, and saying, who I don't know, saying, Tyler, as soon as these guys kill me, I want you to run past me and get that guy out of the cockpit. I don't care what you do. This is a suicide mission, so don't worry about you. Just get him out of there.
Right.
And they did it.
Yep.
I have no idea to this day how they coordinated that.
Yeah.
But it's all in the movie, and if you've never seen it, go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to spin the wheel of questions coming up next. It is the big Monday after the big Sunday that started the NFL season. Rams win. We haven't talked about it. You guys, why aren't you hopped up on the Raiders right now?
We are.
Raiders 1-0.
Did you not? Wait a minute. No, not 1-0.
Yeah.
17-0.
There you
Did
go.
you not see my text?
There you go. That's the Raiders fans I was looking for. Hey, it's a new full season of 710. Be sure to start tomorrow with ESPN Radio's new morning show, Unsportsmanlike, with our friend Evan Cohen, Canty, and Michelle. That's tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 a.m. here on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
Hey, let me tell you about ZipRecruiter. I saw the guy who invented ZipRecruiter, Ian Siegel, yesterday, and Ian would tell you that it can now take up to 11 weeks on average to hire for an open job. That's almost 2.5 months. You don't need to wait that long. If you're listening today, stop waiting. Start using ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find qualified candidates for all your roles fast. And right now you can do it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Here's how it works. ZipRecruiter uses powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. You can check out the people ZipRecruiter sends you. If you really like one or two, you can invite them to apply for your job with one click. 4 out of 5 employers who use ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So speed up your hiring process with ZipRecruiter. See why 3.8 million businesses have come to ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. Just go to that exclusive web address to try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
So Al and I are teaming up for your chance to win an entire office full of lunch from Waba Grill. So you're going to want to be listening all day during the 12 o'clock lunch hour for your cue to call to pick up food for the entire office, courtesy of Waba Grill.
We got some ribeye, we got some chicken, we got some shrimp.
I'm making it sound like I cooked them myself. Look at these boom boom tacos.
You can visit wabagrill.com. You can order online. Just go on in, get yourself some of these tacos. Visit your local Waba Grill location. Of course, walk right in. Of course, you can order online for delivery or pickup. Waba Grill, right? Eat smart, be healthy. Boom boom, kaboom.
It is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
Okay. This is going to require a little bit of thinking.
Okay, I do that sometimes.
You have 10 minutes to hide a paperclip in your home. A detective will come and look for it for 24 hours. If they don't find it, then you win $1 million. Where would you hide it?
That's interesting.
So they have 24 hours. They conceivably could turn the place completely upside down.
I've got it. All
right, where?
Where are you putting it?
My dad's ashes.
You don't think they would dump them out and
Do you think they would dump out somebody's ashes?
I do. I think they
Oh,
would.
no, I think that's like holy. You
No,
can't.
they would take a plastic bag, dump the ashes, look through them, and pour them back in the
You
urn.
think so? So you think that's
kind of messed up.
that is
All right,
messed
so
up.
ashes would
in
kinda
my
go in the
house,
air.
in my house, we have probably 100 wine bottles.
Yep.
Just people, we've kept wine we've kept over the years. They're all in one place. I would stick it through the cork.
Yep. Oh, stick it through the cork.
Of a dark bottle of wine, like a dark bottle of like red, and then bury the wine bottle in somewhere in among the 100. So in other words, if they thought it was in one of the wine bottles, they would have to open all 100 and pour them all out. Now they might do that.
Yeah, they might.
I thought about maybe sticking them in a jar of peanut butter and burying it
in
the
peanut
middle.
butter. That's not bad.
Because I don't think they would necessarily find it that way. But if it's a good detective and he's got 24 hours, he might. But that's what I would do. I'd put it in one of the wine bottles.
How many bottles of wine do you have in your
Like
house?
100.
100?
Probably.
God.
Maybe 75.
Okay.
Bergman, where's it going?
So I got in my closet. I have a bunch of just pillows, just random pillows all over the place. I think I would unzip the pillow and stick it inside of all of the,
and then zip the pillow back up. That's not bad.
And you've got stuffing and stuff.
Yeah,
in
stuffing
there?
and stuffing.
That would be
there,
tough.
yeah.
That would be a good
and
one.
then stick it way inside there.
Do
they have?
All right,
like
I may have
detector?
thought I may have thought of a better one.
Okay.
This is a little gross, but I don't think they'd check it. Okay, Murphy, our dog.
Oh God.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Poops in the atrium.
Oh yeah.
What if I stuck the paperclip inside one of his poops?
Yeah.
Well, you get rid of the poop at some point, right?
Yeah, but I would. It's out there now. We clean it twice a week.
Yeah.
But you think they'd look there?
Yes, absolutely.
Probably.
Tyler, where are you hiding the paperclip?
You kind of stole my idea. I'm not going to lie. So here's my idea, and I'll admit that I would never do this.
All
but
right.
in this particular
these
scenario,
are all hypothetical,
Yeah.
goofy
You would.
questions.
Just all right,
do it.
everybody,
You
just
would
keep
do
in mind this is hypothetical. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm giving my dog a boatload of fiber and a paperclip.
Huh.
That's not against the rules.
It's not against the rules, but I think it's not good for a dog. to
Yeah,
have
I
a
would
metal
not be-
piece
You know, but
of
think
meat.
about it. My
He's
dog,
only
my
gotta
dog
hold it
eats,
for 24
my dog
hours.
eats remotes.
Right, but still, you stick a
doing it on purpose.
pointy
No,
paper
he
clip.
could. He
Wrap it in
could.
some turkey.
Yeah, he could bend it and wrap it in a treat.
It's still metal. It's still metal with sharp
It
ends.
is a little
That was the whole
Oh,
point.
but
The
it's-
whole point is it's not.
Tyler-
it's
Why
not
you
good.
by the way,
kill
it's
your
so-
dog?
It's not
Tyler,
good.
I have two words to
It's not
describe.
good.
I have 2 words to describe your idea. Brilliant.
My
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
No, because
Brian,
your
where are
dog's
you
gonna
putting?
die.
Where are you putting the paperclip?
I think that idea is a little outlandish.
I do too. Thank you, Brian. That is
That's a
outlandish.
polite way of saying
and a
it.
very good use of the word outlandish.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna in the corner of a room, or put up a little bit of the carpet, stick it under there, and
Yeah.
then shove the carpet back, into the baseboard, kind of a deal.
Oh, he's finding you right
No,
now.
they're gonna have to tear up the whole carpet to find.
Well,
that.
I mean, don't you think they will?
They might,
don't
but
think so.
Brian, your idea is a good one, but not right inside. Like, okay, so you pull up the carpet, not right below. Pull up the carpet, and then put it in like the middle where they would have to
Yeah.
roll the carpet
okay.
all the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
back, and
I like that.
Or
That's a good one, Brian.
lift up the carpet, cut open a hole in the ground, right, in the wood,
Right.
lift that up like a hatch, put the paper clip down there, put the hatch back on, lay the carpet back out there. Nobody's getting
all right. How about this?
That's quite a lot of
How
work.
about
Going
this?
a little too far.
If you
there.
have if you have a barbecue, what
like
about,
from Henrik, barbecues
yeah.
galore. It's not
What
just a
about
barbecue
particularly
aisle, it's a
if you ha-
barbecue
if you-
store.
If you have a charcoal barbecue, what if you just stuck it in like the bottom of where all the used charcoal is?
That's a
Would
good
they think to
spot.
look there?
Yeah, it's a good spot.
That's a good one, especially if you have one of those wire brushes where the bristles
Yeah.
Right.
sometimes come off.
Yep.
Just looks like a
I,
little
wo-
bristle.
I wonder if all 5 of us used our ideas. Well, Tyler's is the weirdest.
Yes.
But his would probably work the best. If any of us would, or like, what percentage of us make it through without being caught?
Probably. Well, Brian, if you do the whole thing where you lift the carpet,
door?
create a hatch, put it down in there, close the hatch, spread the carpet down, I think you're tough to get.
I'd do it for $1
Yeah.
million.
Yeah. Tyler, I think that's
Well,
humane
Greg-
society action right
Yeah.
there.
Greg, one thing I didn't think about,
Okay.
which would probably wreck both my idea and yours.
Well, do they have metal detectors?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking.
If they're allowed metal
yeah.
They're
detectors,
allowed metal detectors. I assume they're allowed any technology that
Yeah.
exists. Then you and I are probably
yeah, we need
caught.
to put it somewhere where there's a lot of metal around it and like
Right,
things
like
that
in the
kinda look
barbecue.
like it.
In
Yeah,
the barbecue,
barbecue yeah.
of metal barbecue,
Barbecue.
might work. All right, there
All
you
right,
go.
there you have it. All right,
Oh,
do
Chrissy
me a
said-
favor. I want to
wait,
get.
wait. So Chrissy says, "Why don't you hide it in your Peloton?" They'd say, he never even touches that."
Do you still
that
have
was
that
well
thing?
done, Chrissy. That was well done.
Greg, okay, so you take the grip. No, how about this,
How
Greg?
mean.
You take, but it's brilliant. You take the grip off of the Peloton.
Oh, yeah.
Slide the grip back on with
Right,
the paperclip
right.
inside it, and then hang your bath towel over it
Right,
like you
like
do
you
every
normally
day.
do. Hang your
Yes, you gotta
clothes
get
to
through all the
dry and
clothes,
stuff
you gotta
like
search
that.
through it all.
It's
yeah.
not Chrissy's idea is not terrible.
Does that Peloton actually laugh at you when you walk into the room? Is your Peloton like...
It's in an extra room with the door closed that doesn't ever get opened.
I don't, the Peloton's like, I don't have to do any work with this guy.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
don't even know if the door opens anymore.
Is it still for sale?
Yeah.
What does the price come down?
I don't know. What are you offering?
My brother just sold his for $400.
$400?
Yeah, he sold his
No,
Peloton
that's not
for
enough.
$400.
I owe way more than that.
He's like, I just got to get rid of this.
Yeah, Greg is not. He.
But it's signed by me.
It's signed by you.
You think that?
Boom! How do you like that
you
one?
think that increases the value?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A graffiti-stained Peloton.
So I was looking for, because we're going to be doing this.
$724.
Bergman, find me your funky autumn wind and all that.
Well, the greatness of the Raiders was on full display yesterday. Never a doubt. Jimmy G was brilliant. Jacoby Myers is the new Randy Moss.
So stupid.
And I'm now, as Greg and I predicted from the beginning with this team,
17-0.
17-0.
I'm with you, Ireland.
Right.
It was the most incredible game of football ever played on the history
Oh,
of
by
FIFA.
the way.
So you're
A 1-point
acknowledging
win.
that the Raiders are not tanking for Caleb Williams.
Not anymore. It's 17-0.
There you go.
Quick turnaround.
Not tanking. I never thought they were.
They're in first place alone in the AFC
Alone,
West.
Mace.
Alone.
Was it Peyton that started out with an onside kick? Didn't he start
Yeah.
out with an onside kick?
Didn't work.
Didn't work. But
I mean, it did work, but it didn't work.
I liked it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was just about to tweet like, oh, this is how this season's going to go, and then they got overturned. And I
Yeah.
felt
By the
better
way,
about it.
have any of you guys? Did everybody escape Survivor this
Yes.
weekend?
Yes, everybody
Baltimore.
All five of us.
We all took
Okay.
Baltimore.
My mom, your mom, not stepdad
So
Leo.
has
Your mom.
anybody looked at next week?
Oh, no.
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay, it is gonna be super hard to find a Survivor pick next week. Greg, especially for me and you, the biggest spread: Raiders at Buffalo.
Ooh.
I'm not.
Bills, and by the way, in a Survivor pool,
Can't-
you have to just win. The
Yeah.
spread doesn't matter. But Greg, if we were going to go like using a statistical model, that would be the one we would pick. We would pick Buffalo.
Let's see what Buffalo looks like tonight.
But that is the only big spread in the whole
Yeah,
league.
the league is really, really tight. There's-
Everything else is under 7.
and most of them are 3, 3.5.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
The
fits
Rams, by the way,
perfectly.
are 8-point dogs on Sunday at
So
SoFi.
that is normally my system. I want teams that have to go cross country on the road and not in the division.
but
and
can
are
you and I
double-digit
pick
underdog.
against the Raiders?
No.
Oh, you guys can.
All right, how about this?
Your guys' Raider love is so
No, Greg,
come and
how about
go.
this? We can
It's not come and go. It's not wishy-washy.
Hey, we can zag when everyone else is zigging. So,
Exactly.
like, all three of these guys, like Mason,
they're gonna take the
Brian,
Bills.
Tyler, they're all going to take the Bills. You and I,
Tell me what I'm going to take.
I know what you're going to do.
You're gonna take
You
the
don't know
Bills.
what I'm
You're
doing.
taking the Bills. Greg, you and I can take the Lions. They're at home against
They look
Seattle.
good, and Seattle looks terrible, Tyler.
I think that may be our way to go. But those are the
That's a good
only
one.
two possibilities.
You know what I
all
like?
the
No,
other-
like
you know what I
road
like?
teams.
I
I
like
like the home
Giants at Arizona. I think Giants bounce back.
Wait
in
a minute.
Spot
Arizona
they
almost
need.
won
Did you? How much of the Sunday night game did you watch?
All of it.
Giants are
I won't say all of it.
terrible.
I know. No,
The
but the
Giants
Cowboys were
could not have
dominating.
looked worse.
I know, but that's what I'm
They
talking
couldn't
about.
run the ball. They couldn't pass. By the way,
Opening
they
week
were
is-
equal opportunity offenders. They had a horrible offense, a horrible defense, and a horrible special teams.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: week one is a dirty little liar. Mark Sanchez
And
said that.
Greg,
yesterday.
I was gonna take the Niners, but the Rams look so good, I can't do it.
I'd steer clear.
No, you can still take the Niners. They're the best team in the football. By
Yeah,
far.
but you're gonna take a road team against a Rams team that looked great.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wouldn't bet it.
But I'm not
Don't
gonna
bet
take- that's
against
probably
my
not a-
Rams.
I think I'm taking Detroit,
You know what I want to do? And
I might take Buffalo.
I might take whoever's playing the Chargers because they stink.
No, actually, Chargers are in a really good spot.
They're
The
going to
Chargers'
Titans.
offense looked good.
no, Chargers have a real game.
Chargers are
their
at.
running game looks good. Justin Herbert did not.
Chargers
look
play
good.
at Tennessee.
Yeah, see, that's and they're
I'll
favored.
take the Chargers there.
You'll take the Chargers every week.
Yeah.
How do you
Not
feel,
every week,
Brian?
not
Brian,
every
how do you feel about that choke job that Chargers charging once again?
By the way, I don't know if
No Chargers.
you weren't on the
Go San Diego!
Brian, you weren't on the chain, but yesterday I was texting with these guys, and I said, when the Chargers were ahead with 3 minutes to go, I just went, is this the most predictable ending ever? The Chargers are going to charge, and that's it.
Yeah, we felt it coming.
And sure enough,
Tyreek
Hill.
The moment they missed that extra point, I thought, look.
You thought they were going to lose with the ball with 2 timeouts and a minute 45?
I did. When they got the ball back, I was like, oh, there's no way they're kicking a field goal
Really?
Here. Yeah.
You have no faith in them.
Oh, I have faith.
No, you don't.
You just said you have faith and then picking up 40 yards and kicking a field goal.
No, I got faith. When it came down the way the game was going,
yeah.
After Miami scored and took the lead.
Are you a big Brandon Staley guy?
Not as much anymore.
Yeah, not as much.
Every day it kind of falls a little further.
I would imagine Brandon Staley's seat is getting hotter, don't you think?
Well, they're loaded.
They
offensively
are.
and
You can't
defensively.
afford to
I think
lose.
they're a playoff team.
If the defense plays like that.
But, well,
Can you
they
explain
scored
the defense?
34 points.
Can somebody explain the Charger defense to me?
They played on
You're
man
supposed to have
coverage.
Miami has a really good
defensive
offense.
coordinator as your head coach. You have Joey Bosa. You have Derwin James.
Right.
You have Eric Kendricks. You have J.C. Jackson out there. You have Khalil Mack. And you have giving him 36
J.C.
points.
Jackson
Did
made
you
the
watch
dumbest play of the game.
Maybe the dumbest
supposed
play
to be the
I've
great
ever seen.
cornerback.
Right.
So at the end of the first half, Miami has the ball in their own end of the field.
Right.
And there's time for one more play.
Yep.
So they throw to the Chargers 30.
Mm-hmm.
And J.C. Jackson decides, it didn't look like it was going to be a completed pass, but he didn't want to risk it. So he just intentionally committed pass interference.
Right.
Well, the pass interference put the ball in the 30, and the Dolphins came in and kicked a field goal. And, of course, they won by 2.
Right.
But he handed him a field goal. That was a
As time
really
expired,
dumb
too.
play.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
All right. Well, look, we threw a lot out there.
Chargers.
It's Overreaction Monday. It's the first football Monday of 2023. 877-710 ESPN for 2 o'clock call today. What was your big takeaway yesterday? What was your big surprise? Are you a Rams fan? How excited are you? Where are your expectations level right now?
Are the Raiders going to go 17-0? Or will the NFL, because the Raiders will be so dominant, just take away their bye week and have them play an 18th game and go 18-0?
I'm surprised you're not going 20-0, which would make you the Super Bowl champion.
Well,
20-0, right?
We've
Takes
won
3 games once you get in there.
Where have you been? We've won the Super Bowl for the last 11 years in a row. Of course we win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I'm just talking about the perfect regular season.
Oh, Raider fans are so obnoxious. 877-710
You know where the Super Bowl is
ESPN.
this year, right?
Yeah, I know. It's at the Roomba.
In Vegas, where the Raiders, just like the Rams, will win the Super Bowl on their home field.
Can you imagine the Super Bowl in Vegas, what that's going to be like? It is going to be a melee.
Right. What if it's Raiders-Rams?
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking. All right, your calls coming up next. 2 o'clock call of the day. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean.
So Al and I are teaming up for your chance to win an entire office full of lunch from Waba Grill. So you're going to want to be listening all day during the 12 o'clock lunch hour for your cue to call to pick up food for the entire office, courtesy of Waba Grill.
We got some ribeye, we got some chicken, we got some shrimp.
I'm making it sound like I cooked them myself. Look at these boom boom tacos.
You can visit wabagrill.com. You can order online. Just go on in, get yourself some of these tacos. Visit your local Waba Grill location. Of course, walk right in. Of course, you can order online for delivery or pickup. Waba Grill, right? Eat smart, be healthy. Boom, boom, kaboom.
mornings 6 to 10 a.m. on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
And here we go. It is Mason and Ireland, your Monday. The new fall lineup of 710 is on. Be sure to start each weekday morning with Unsportsmanlike with Evan, Canty, and Michelle right here on 710 ESPN. And then, of course, the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block live and local with Trav Slee, Mason and Ireland, Shinano and Cap. Right now, it's 2 o'clock in the Southland. Time for the call of the day on Mason and Ireland.
All right, all the lines are full here. But I want to go to Ed in West LA. Ed, you're on 710. What's up, man?
Hey, guys.
Hi, Ed.
What's up?
What's up, Ed? You're on the air.
Hey, I can hear you guys.
Good. What do you want to say?
Mason, I want to say, Mason, thanks for giving me that selfie. Seriously, I've been listening to you guys for years. And
wait a minute. Were you the guy that saw him on the street corner in Hollywood?
I was.
Really?
That really felt like I made it. The fact that you yelled out Steve Mason as I was walking out of the theater.
Ed, what were you doing? Were you at Les Mis also?
Yes. So get this. So I'm with my wife and a couple friends of ours. And we walk out. I look to the right, and there's a guy with the camera taking a picture of the Pantasia sign. And I could only see his hair. And right then I knew, that's Steve Mason. So I stopped in my tracks. And my wife starts pushing me. She's like, go. And I go, I got to see this guy's face. And right as he took the camera or his phone away, it was Steve Mason, but he turned around. So I yelled at him. I said, Steve Mason. And he turned around. I ran to him, and he gave me a selfie.
There you go, Ed.
There you go. Ed,
that's what I'm talking about, guerrilla marketing.
You made my day, Ed. You made my day.
You made my day.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for being out there.
Let's go to Kenzie. Wait, we got breaking news. Bergman, what do you got?
It's my fault. Chris Jones is signing a deal with the Chiefs.
You know what? I knew it. I knew
after that he had to.
Yeah, I knew after the Chiefs lost that game.
And it's a 1-year deal.
Yeah, that they had to get him back in there because you don't know how long Kelsey's going to be out.
Yep.
And Chris Jones is the best defensive player on that team. And so tell me if you guys agree with this. Chris Jones went to that game and sat in a suite. Okay?
Two giant dudes that I would never want to mess with.
Right. He was rooting against the Chiefs, right?
Yes, of course.
Because he knew if the Chiefs lost that game, he was getting the bag.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So, I mean, it's
the bag
weird.
For 1 year.
He was there, quote unquote, supporting his teammates.
But from the suite.
From a suite, and he was secretly saying, all right, they think they can win without me? Let's see you do it, boys.
Yep.
And the minute they lost, it's like, oh, I'll come to the rescue.
So he got paid. All right, let's go to Devin in L.A. Hey, Devin, you're on 710. What's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Devin, what's happening?
Hey.
He didn't ask how we were doing. He just said,
what's going on?
He did not ask how
we were doing. He didn't ask how we were doing.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Ooh, how do you like that
That's
one?
not the
What's
same.
going
That
on
was-
and how you doing are the exact same thing.
No. Wait, Greg. What's going on is...
And then you say nothing. Same exact thing.
Right.
What's going on is acceptable.
Why is it acceptable? It's the same thing as how are you doing?
Pretty similar.
It's the same thing.
Brian, whose side are you on?
I'm kind of on Greg's side on this one.
Oh, you guys are idiots.
Hey,
It's
Mason.
pretty close to the
how
same
you
thing.
doing? Fine. Moving on. What are you doing? Nothing. Moving on.
This
the same thing.
This was the topic of a Seinfeld episode. There was a bank in their neighborhood that said if you don't get a hello when you come in, then you get $25 for free, or you get $50. And Kramer walked in, and the first guy goes, "Hey," and Kramer keeps walking, and the next guy goes, "How you doing?" Kramer just keeps walking, and he walks right over to the bank manager. He goes, "No one said hello to me."
Oh.
And he goes, "Really?" Stephen Root played the bank
Is that
manager.
right?
Mace.
I love Stephen.
And Stephen Root goes, "All right, let me bring a couple people in on this." He goes, "Did you say hello to Mr. Kramer when he walked in?" And the bank teller goes, "I said, hey." He calls the other guy over. He goes, "Bob, did you say hello to Mr. Kramer when he walked in?" He goes, "I said, how you doing?" Stephen Root looks at Kramer and goes, "You got a greeting that started with an H. How about $25?" Kramer goes, done. I don't think asking us how we're doing is the same as what's going on. I think those are two different greetings.
What's going on is such a general, like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's
He's
the
not
same
asking us
thing.
how we're doing. It's just saying what
how you
is
doing
going on.
is the
Not
same as
how
what's
are
going
you
on.
doing? What is
it
going
doesn't.
on?
It's not needed. It's go right to your point.
Why is
go
D-Hawk
right to
shaking
it.
his head back there?
Yeah, DeAndre,
DeAndre,
are you with me or with Greg? You're with me.
There you go.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Okay.
DeAndre, you're Chavato. What are you?
Chavato. Hey, take Kenzie on line 5.
Don't say anything. Just go to your point.
Hey, Kenzie, go right to your point. What do you got?
We got to fire Brandon Staley, man. I'm sorry.
After one game?
He's got to go. He's got to go.
Kenzie,
go.
you only
I'm
lost by
tired of him.
2. You lost 36-34 on the last minute of the game.
And we also overpaid for J.C. Jackson. I'm the biggest Charger fan you'll meet. I know Greg likes to say there's no Charger fans at all, but this team is not going to go anywhere with Brandon Staley. They're not going to
Brian,
win.
do you agree? Do you
It's
agree with
not gonna
Kenzie?
happen.
Would you like to see Brandon Staley fired?
I don't know about fired right now, but he's got a very short leash. It's a new year, same story kind of a deal. Nothing has changed.
What if you lose to Tennessee? Then you fire him?
Tennessee might be favored in that game.
No, I think Chargers. But regardless, you don't fire a guy after 2 games, even if they lose the Tennessee game.
Well, I mean, he was close to getting fired last year.
They're 3-point favorites at Tennessee.
27-0.
Yeah, they did blow that big lead in that playoff game.
And that's going to stick forever.
Yes. That's all I got to say.
Okay, Kenzie. Thank you.
guys.
So there's
Fire
one.
him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Head on a spike.
He gone.
He gone, says Brian.
But it's not like they were the Giants and they lost
No,
40-0 at home.
They were in it, but they just did at the end. They did Chargery things.
They did.
They're such a Chargery.
You
team.
can't fire him after 1 week.
No,
that's
not after 1
insane.
week. No, not after losing by 2 points.
Yeah, and they easily could have won that game. If Jackson doesn't make that bonehead play at the end of the first half, they probably win.
And by the way, I also don't think it's fair to judge their defense, given the fact that I think Miami might have one of the most potent offenses in the league. Tyreek Hill's unbelievable.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill. And by the way, Tyler, we could have had Tyreek Hill before he took Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase was a good pick.
Over Tyreek Hill.
Not from week 1, but Jamar Chase was absolutely.
Do you want to bet me? Hey, do you want to bet me $10,000 in mythical money that Tyreek Hill will have more fantasy points than Jamar Chase this year?
I don't. But
then that was
at the
the
beginning.
wrong news.
At the beginning of the year, Jamar Chase was unanimously number 2.
Yes,
unanimously
This is
number
true.
2.
This is true.
Tyreek Hill is a one-man wrecking
Well, because
crew.
you saw it in week 1.
Wait a minute. He did it when he was in Kansas City. He
I
did
know,
it last year in Miami,
he
and
is
he did it
phenomenal,
yesterday.
and he was phenomenal
Week
that
1
game.
is a dirty little liar.
He had like 234 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That Mark Sanchez line like 5 times now.
We got to find the actual line.
Yeah, we got to find the actual Mark Sanchez.
Hey, let me read you
saying
guys
it's a
this
dirty
quote
little liar.
from Albert Breer.
Okay.
You know Albert Breer,
Of course,
who
yeah.
is Wrights Monday Morning Quarterback, appears on a lot of different shows. Quote, "To the idiots who thought the Rams were tanking for Caleb Williams, I hope you watched every minute of yesterday's game. If you thought Sean McVay was going to throw a season to get Caleb Williams, you have no clue who or what you're looking at."
There you go.
End quote.
How many times did I say they're not tanking?
Clearly not.
The moment I started talking to, for example, Demoff, I did that podcast with Stafford. I interviewed a training kid. I never got the sense Matthew Stafford's not coming back to tank. He's not coming back to tank. Sean McVay is not coming back to tank. He's going to coach his ass off this year and get this team potentially to 9 wins and make the playoffs. If they come out of the box 3-3, John, don't you think they're poised for a playoff run?
I'll take it a step further. You guys tell me if I'm crazy. After what I saw yesterday, I think they can beat the Niners on Sunday. I don't think they will. If you put a gun to my head and said pick that game, I would pick the Niners, but I think it's going to be close.
Now
I would have put that in a parlay for the Niners, and now I'm not gonna. I don't.
Did you hit? I missed all 3 legs of my parlay.
I missed all 3 legs of my parlay on Thursday for the Kansas City game. For this game, I hit a couple, but didn't get them all.
I lost my parlay, but I
By the way, I picked Seattle
I won on
in
USC
one of my parlay.
and the Rams.
I don't have a USC bet for you.
I bet it like right away after the.
I won money because of Tyler's fantasy team. But that
you won $1,000.
No, I won $2,000.
No, you
right?
won $1,000.
Oh, that's right.
You lost a $2K.
Hey,
bets.
it's better than losing.
Yeah,
Boy,
here's
the thing. I don't think there's an actual way for you guys to catch me this year.
What are you
Is
talking
there?
about? You're gonna.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to start doing ridiculous 10-team parlays, and if I hit one, it's over.
Right, but I mean,
well, if you miss a show, I'm right back in.
Correct.
Yeah, but there's a 50%
but I've got almost
chance.
I've got almost
500,000,
and you've got 145.
You're at 512,000. Ireland's at 145. I'm at 137.
Yeah, I'm not giving up yet.
No, don't. Keep fighting. Maybe I'll make a big dumb bet.
You've done it before.
A big dumb, here's $100,000.
Like $100,000. I'm going to work 58 shows in a row, something like that.
Yeah, that's a big dumb bet. All right, coming up next, I actually have. Last night was just a disaster of a night for the Giants as the Cowboys won. I got some crazy numbers about that. And isn't it amazing what's going on with the Pac-12? We will get to that coming up as well. Hey, join the Fun and Games department at Hollywood Park Casino tonight. We're hosting a Monday Night Football watch party, giving fans a chance to play $1 Million Mondays. Got to be present to participate. We select 3 participants during one watch party, and they will have a chance to win $1 million. Got to be 21. To attend. Hollywood Park Casino. Eat, drink, play. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
And what a week one it was in Seattle. Our LA Rams take care of those stinking Seahawks.
And the Rams have a double-digit lead.
It's about the way you guys picked one another up. Stop after stop after stop defensively.
Now it's Aaron's turn. Back-to-back sacks from the LA defense. And the boos rain down in Seattle.
It's a Rams Reaction Monday on your home of Rams football. 710 ESPN.
Are you ready to score big this summer? George Chevrolet has got you covered. Soak up the season in style behind the wheel of an award-winning Chevy, like the powerful Silverado, the family-sized Traverse, or the all-electric Bolt EUV. Hurry in and take advantage of hot summer savings and experience the thrill of driving a brand new Chevy. Visit them off the 91 freeway in Bellflower.
On 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Roars! Big day for the Rams yesterday in Seattle to go on the road and to take down a team that made the playoffs last year in a divisional situation was huge for the Rams, and they played just the guy that's going to come out of this game as a star. I think is Puka Nacua. He was. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Cooper Kupp. You know, so far he's on injured reserve and he's gone 4 weeks. Bergman, you for some reason think it's worse. John, you for some reason think it's worse.
Yeah, because
based on
putting it on the IR and it was a
4 weeks.
Yeah, but it wasn't just a hamstring, but it was like
some nerve
issue.
Yeah.
I just don't think that goes away right away. If 4 weeks might not be enough. I wouldn't be surprised if it lasts longer.
Boy, can you imagine this offense if it's Cooper Kupp?
I have a bad feeling about Cooper Kupp, and I hope I'm wrong, but if it's nerves, that could keep him out a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, remember Kendrick Nunn?
Yep.
Same thing.
Well, let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Because the idea of Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Higbee, add Cooper Kupp, and you've got an offense that is really, really scary because they were good yesterday. And that's the one thing. More than anything yesterday, it was the offensive line. Matthew Stafford,
which they didn't have last year.
Matthew Stafford didn't get sacked. Matthew Stafford, there were 2 quarterback hits. There weren't a lot of hurries. There wasn't a lot of pressure in Matthew Stafford. And I forgot how good he is when he gets time. He is just slinging that football, sidearm, hitting guys. I mean, he is a hell of a good quarterback. And as long as they keep him upright, I think the Rams got a real chance to do some damage this year. All right, John, can you believe that the Pac-12 conference has got 8 teams now in the top 25. 8 teams in the top 25. Just before,
did UCLA sneak in there after that impressive
24.
win over San Diego State?
Number 24. Just before the conference detonates, everybody is really, really good. It's probably the best year for the Pac-12 conference that we've seen in a decade, and it's all going to go away. You add Colorado with the biggest star in college football, Deion Sanders, and you've got a conference with Caleb Williams and Michael Penix and Bo Nix and all these guys. The defending champion, Utah Utes. Yeah, Utah Utes. You've got a loaded conference. You know who the second pick in Vegas? Right now, Caleb Williams is a 3-1 pick to win the Heisman Trophy. Do you know who's second?
Well, it's got to be Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter at 4-1. So 3-1, 4-1.
I think Travis Hunter should be the favorite. I mean, oh yeah, and I love Caleb. You know me. Caleb's the best quarterback I've ever seen in college. But Travis Hunter, nobody's doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's playing 100 plays a game.
Yeah,
on a team that's rolling people. Now they're going to have a couple of tests come. They'll win this week. They play Colorado State.
They'll stomp them.
At Oregon the week after that,
Tough.
and next month hosting USC.
Yeah, we'll know a lot when they go to Oregon.
Right.
We'll know a lot when they go to Oregon because we'll find out how real they are. Paul Feinbaum, who I see all the time on the Get Up, he says that talk about Deion Sanders now because he won't be relevant by the end of October.
Possible.
That's what Feinbaum says.
Yeah, he said it before week 2.
Yep.
I think they're going to be good. I think they're a 9-10 win team. I disagree with Feinbaum.
A 10-win team.
9-10 win team after winning 1 game last year. So let's see. But I just watching them play. Sanders Shedeur is a great quarterback.
Yes, he is.
He's got great weapons. They play defense. It's not like they're playing the Little Sisters of the Poor here. They've beat TCU in Fort Worth, and then Nebraska, who isn't terrible. So I think they're a 9-10 win team.
I'm not.
I think SC beats them, and I think they'll probably slip up somewhere else.
Are you that high on him, Bergman?
Yeah, pretty much.
Were you? Oh, go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say. I want to see him against somebody really good, and I think that next game at Oregon is going to tell us a lot. But ESPN Game Day is going to Boulder for or going to Denver, I guess, John, you said?
Well, let me look that up.
Yeah.
That's what somebody told me.
Yeah.
But that they were gonna play that game at the Broncos Stadium.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that's accurate.
Colorado State.
Yeah.
What's that, Greg? No, nothing. All right. So I think that'll be interesting. And I think, it's hard to argue with the fact that, and I mean, I'll say it again. If I was an NFL organization, I would be looking to Deion Sanders as a head coach next year. I mean, I want that electricity. I want that force of personality. I want the confidence that he creates, the belief he creates when he is out there coaching. And he walks into every locker room, and he is respected because he is Deion Sanders from the Pro Football
Is
Hall of
Folsom
Fame.
Field in Boulder?
Yes.
It's on the campus, actually. I went to Boulder.
Oh,
so,
you went to Boulder.
Folsom Field is that's where the game is.
Yeah, it goes right onto it's on campus. You go from your dorm room onto the field.
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah,
great.
so it's at Colorado.
Yes.
It's a home game for the Buffs.
When is that game? Maybe I'll go to that game. That'd be fun to go to.
It's a
the day of
beautiful
our,
campus.
It's the day of our Mason Ireland poker tournament.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, crap, so we're going to miss it. We're going to miss
Depending
the
on the
game.
time.
Right now, the time is unset.
Okay.
They'll
Well, but they
it'll
may
probably
put
be
that
earlier.
in. They may move that into prime time. Like
Yeah,
put it
like
on at 5.
4.
5 o'clock,
I think
yeah.
our tournament's at 2.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there till the very end because I usually make the final table.
You can't even beat me.
Last time I did beat you.
No, I beat you.
I hung in longer than you did.
No.
You went out before me.
No.
It's true. You did.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Wait.
Mace went longer.
I went longer.
I went out first. John went out second, and Mace went out.
I
third.
played
but
super
it,
short
but it was
stack,
like
super
it was like
short stack,
one
super
other.
short stack.
Yeah, I thought we both went out around the same time.
We did.
You did go at the same
Okay.
time, but you went first. And
Technically,
then, like,
yeah.
one hand
I remember
later.
that now.
And I win a mythical money bet on that. We'll bet on anything around here.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether Mason shows up at work, there's $100,000 mythical dollars on that.
That's how dumb we are.
All right, coming up next for you, there is definitely a suspension that needs to happen in the NFL. And do you get motivated when people doubt you? That's coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about my buddy Jacob and Ronnie. If you were riding in the back seat and injured in an Uber or a Lyft this weekend, it is completely different than a normal wreck. Your driver is covered by Uber or Lyft, so you're not only dealing with the other person's insurance, you need somebody to talk to the Uber Lyft insurance people as well. Trust me, you don't want to try to deal with this on your own. You need an expert, and my friend Jacob is the expert when it comes to handling Uber and Lyft cases. He has handled more of them than anybody in the country. Years ago, Jacob and his team took on these cases before other attorneys, and he understands all the nuances involved in these particular accidents. So if you're injured in any kind of Uber or Lyft accident, there is only one name to remember. It is Jacob. Remember, a lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob. He'll win for you. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com, and make sure you're following Call Jacob on Instagram and Facebook. Go to @call.jacob to enter a contest about his brand new, very funny campaign. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. All right, did you see the shot that DK Metcalf hit Ahkello Witherspoon with from the Rams?
I did, and I'm stunned that, number one, they didn't eject him.
Yes.
And number two, that DK Metcalf is that stupid.
Yeah, I mean...
Is he under the impression that there aren't 17 cameras at that stadium shooting the game?
Nobody's going to see that, 20 seconds after the whistle, he just takes a shot at a guy? He did get a... He got
15-yard penalty. But how do you not get
penalty.
ejected for that?
Yeah, you should.
Just walked up to him and clocked him.
Now,
I wonder if they'll eject him for the next game.
Is that a good reason to suspend somebody?
Pretty close. I mean, you know me, I hate suspending anybody. I think you just hit him in the wallet really bad. But I would have no problem with them hitting him with a monster fine.
I have a feeling it's going to be a fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it should be a healthy one because that was an unbelievably cheap shot. All right, so Coco Gauff won the U.S. Open.
Did you watch any of this?
John, I am Mr. Tennis. Not a thing.
It was so good.
Was it?
Oh.
When was it on?
And it was on Saturday afternoon.
Couldn't watch it anyway because Spectrum had their thing and it was on ESPN, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so I couldn't have watched it anyway.
I watched it right before the UCLA game started, and Coco Gauff, I think she's going to take over women's tennis, but she said something after the match that I think is going to hit home with a lot of people. She was thanking different people that helped her get to where she is in her career. She's only 19. This is her first major, U.S. Open in New York. And then she also thanked somebody I don't think I've ever heard people thank before. Here's what she said. Okay.
A couple things I want to say. Honestly, thank you to the people who didn't believe in me. I mean, like a month ago, I won a 500 title, and people said I would stop at that. 2 weeks ago, I won a 1,000 title, and people were saying that was the biggest it was going to get. So 3 weeks later, I'm here with this trophy right now. I've tried my best to carry this with grace, and I've been doing my best. So honestly, to those who thought who were putting water on my fire, you're really adding gas to it. And now I'm really burning so bright right now.
What a really nice moment at the end of that, right? I'm burning so bright right now.
And here's what I've learned over the years. If you want to motivate a professional athlete, tell them they can't do something. I learned this playing golf with James Worthy. Every time money's on the line, he's got like a 5-6 foot putt, hard putt.
Right.
I'll look at him and go, "Don't choke, man. Big putt." Or I'll go, "You ain't making this." Every time I talk smack, he drains it. Every single time. Now, if I don't say anything.
Right. He misses it?
Yeah.
So how do you play it?
Never talk trash to him.
You never talk trash?
Nope.
Because that's going to
burned
motivate
me too
him.
many times.
Yeah.
If you want, and by the way, I think this applies to life. You ever want to motivate me to do something, tell me you think I can't do it.
Right. Same with me. 58 straight shows.
No, by the way.
You guys don't believe me.
Okay. I'm convinced that is the reason you're going to work 58 straight shows.
Yes.
I think, and it's not even real money.
No, it's fake money.
It's fake money. But the fact that I have challenged you to do something and said out loud, there's no way you're going to do this, is going to fuel you to do exactly that.
And all of you who thought you were throwing cold water on me, you were actually
throwing water on your fire. You're actually pouring gas.
Pouring gas, and now I'm burning bright.
Don't you think that's true, though? If you want to motivate somebody to do something, I remember when I got the Laker job, our boss Mike Thompson said to me, "Which one are you going to do? You going to do Mason and Ireland, or are you going to do the Lakers?" And I went, "I'm going to do them both." He goes, "You can't do both."
Yeah.
I go, "Have you met me?" And he went, "What do you mean?" I go, "I don't sleep. Of course I can do both."
Right.
And he said, He goes, "You're going to come to me after a year."
Right.
And tell me that you can't do both.
Yep.
That was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And he came to me a year later and he goes, "You killed it, man."
Yeah.
I was surprised. He goes, people don't believe me when I tell them I don't sleep. You guys know because you get emails from me that get
correct.
Get sent to you at 4 a.m.
I get the middle of the night email.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. I get the middle of the night email.
But if you want to motivate somebody, this is actually not a bad parenting tool. If you want to motivate your kid, tell them you don't think I don't know if you can do that. Oh, I can do it.
So that's what happened to me. I was a big snowboarder. I still am a big snowboarder when I can. But my dad, I would just stop in the middle of the mountain and be like, I can't do it. And he's like, all right, fine. Give me your snowboard. That's it. I'm taking it back from you. I'm going to sell it and going to do all this stuff. And I forced myself to go down the hill, and now I go all the time.
Right.
I used to.
Yeah, if you want to motivate somebody, doubt them.
Yeah, my dad was a really good motivator. We were little kids, okay? And my dad would play us one-on-one basketball. My dad would kick our asses in chess.
Right, would not let you win.
Would not let us win. And then all of a sudden, Dad started to lose it a little bit. And the kids started kicking his ass in everything. So my dad was a very good motivator that way. But yeah, no,
there's a great line in I'm an idiot, and I like all of Adam Sandler's movies.
No, Adam Sandler's my hero.
So he has a movie called Just Go With It. Mm-hmm. Basically, the premise of it is
that's Jennifer Aniston
and
right?
Brooklyn Decker,
right.
and he starts dating Brooklyn Decker, and he tells her a bunch of lies to get her to go out with him, and one of them is that he believes that women are attracted to you if you wear a wedding ring. He's not married, but he's wearing a wedding ring, and women would walk right up to him. So he had to fake a whole existence. Like he had to talk Jennifer Aniston, who was his assistant, into being his wife.
Yep.
To impress Brooklyn Decker. It's a funny movie. You should watch it if you haven't seen it.
But,
Nicole Kidman's in it. It's good.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews is in it, the singer.
He's weird.
That's weird.
But
yeah,
so in
Nicole
the movie,
Kidman's
they're teaching one of Jennifer Aniston's kids how to swim.
Yep.
Sandler and Nick Swartzen are teaching this little kid how to swim, and they get a dolphin cookie, like this big oversized cookie, and they say, take off your wings, your inflatable wings, and if you swim from Sandler to Swartzen, we'll give you this cookie.
Right.
So Swartzen's holding up the cookie and making dolphin sounds.
Okay.
Yeah. And the kid starts swimming.
Yeah.
He goes, you can do it, you can do it. And he does it. And the kid can't believe he did it. And he gets the cookie. And he says to Swartzen, he goes, maybe he said to Sandler, he goes, that's a great way to teach somebody how to swim. Is that how your dad taught you guys how to swim? And Sandler, yeah, that's what he's making the noise. And Sandler goes, no, our dad used something he'd throw at us. And he goes, what do you throw at you? He goes, it's called a Heineken. And he would just throw it. But yeah, if you want to motivate, Coco Gauff's right.
Yeah.
If you want to motivate somebody, tell them they suck and they can't do it.
Well, it happens all the time in sports.
Right.
You know, this is the old bulletin board material. It's the old Brian Kelly, we're going to pummel Florida State.
Right.
I didn't say that. Oh, it's on tape.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing that rolls. I think, good for Coco Gauff. That's a nice speech.
Boy,
How old is she?
19.
19.
And she seems like she is the future of tennis. She's like, she hits the ball super hard.
Yep.
She's super athletic. It was kind of a cool story. She had a picture she sent out over the weekend of her dad taking her to see Venus and Serena at the U.S. Open when she was 5.
Wow.
And now she's winning the U.S. Open 15 years later. And she's impossible not to like.
Yeah.
If you listen to her
just that little speech was
she's just great. And I thought, I thought Djokovic was great tho. I mean, he did a big thing.
Oh yeah, Djokovic. Do we have Djokovic?
I think we do. They had. I know Travis and Sleeper played it. It was his 24th major title, and I was actually there the night he met Kobe Bryant at what was then Staples Center.
Yeah.
Because I got Michael loves tennis, so I got Michael to come down and meet Djokovic. Djokovic was great, but he bonded with Kobe. Here's what Djokovic said after he won the U.S. Open on Sunday.
I love that you already had the jacket made, but when you woke up this morning, did you know in your heart that you'd be rewriting the tennis record book?
Mamba mentality, Kobe Bryant. You know it's going to happen already before it actually happens. So I truly believe in that power and mental power, projecting your thoughts and creating your future. So, easy to talk now, but I was really believing, to my core that I can achieve these limits, and actually there are no limits. So I keep going, and I look forward to the next Grand Slam already.
So crediting Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality for his 24th major championship.
Kobe has insane staying power with today's athletes.
The legacy is amazing.
You know that more players, current NBA players, wear Kobe's shoe than any other shoe in the league. And he died in 2019.
Yeah.
But these guys all grew up watching him, and I'm always biased because I get to cover Kobe's whole career, but the way he reverberates through sports and not just basketball. Djokovic is another example of it. If you watch the WNBA girls, they all mention Kobe when they do it, and there's football players that write 24 on their shoes.
Exactly.
And
by the way,
his legacy is everlasting, man.
And Djokovic made a point there. I mean, it can be applied to your life. I mean, no matter what your job,
he's talking about the secret,
right?
Basically.
He's basically talking about the secret. You imagine your future, and your future becomes reality. But on top of that, no matter where you are, no matter what, if you're a salesperson, if you're a service worker, if you're whatever you happen to be, you can adopt the Mamba mentality. You can approach your job and approach your life, and sometimes it's not your job, sometimes it's hobbies or whatever, but with that sort of mentality. And I think Kobe's legacy will endure. It will endure for a very long time. Athletes are going to look to him.
All right, what do you got, Bergman?
All right, so the Monday Night Football game may have a little of a delay.
Oh. What?
Adam Schefter is currently saying that current scene at MetLife Stadium, he has a picture of the stadium, where a shelter-in-place warning is now in effect.
Well, there's a hurricane out there somewhere, but I thought it was a few days away.
No players or personnel are being allowed on the field.
Oh, I'd hate to lose that game. In New York on 9/11.
That'd be a bummer, yeah.
I mean, I got choked up last night with those coaches wearing, NYPD fire, and even the Dallas coaches were, particularly those of you who are younger. There's never been anything like 9/11, and nobody knew what to do. And sports helped bring the country back.
Yeah, it did.
And the fact that, that one World Series, that Yankees D-backs World Series.
Correct.
They took one of the flags from the World Trade Center and hung it at Yankee Stadium. And all 3 games at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees came back late to win. And Derek Jeter was walking up and down the dugout going, just don't quit. The ghosts are going to show up.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Don't quit. There's this great documentary where they got tape, and Jeter just keeps repeating it. Don't give up. I know we're down by 5 runs. It doesn't matter. Don't give up. There's something in the air here. And he was right. And then in Game 7, Arizona won it.
Yeah.
But that game was in Arizona.
Was it Luis Gonzalez?
Yeah, had the
just over the
bouncer over the middle.
Head? Yeah.
Off of the greatest closer ever.
Oh, Mariano Rivera.
Yeah. Beat Mariano Rivera
I remember that
in
night
Game 7.
Very clearly, yeah. I remember especially the first night back for baseball with President George W. Bush throwing out the first pitch.
Okay, backstory of that.
Yeah.
The Secret Service told him not to do it.
Oh, really?
And they said, look, we can't secure a stadium when the country is on a terror alert.
Yep.
There's no way we can control 60,000 people. And if somebody brings in some type of weapon and it's an elaborate weapon, they can get to you when you're on the mound.
Yeah.
And George Bush goes, I don't care, I'm doing it.
Yep.
And then he goes, okay, if you do it, you have to wear a bulletproof vest. And he goes, I'm not wearing it. And he lost that argument.
So he did wear.
He did wear a bulletproof vest, and a lot of people were worried about whether or not he could throw in the vest, and he just wound back and threw a strike.
He did a bullpen session.
Yeah.
He actually did a bullpen session
because he had the flak jacket on.
Yeah, he had
the
learn how to work
on.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredibly moving. I remember UCLA played Ohio, so I was working as a sideline reporter for UCLA football that year. And UCLA played Ohio State at the Rose Bowl. And you remember all games were canceled.
Yes.
Right after 9/11. 9/11 was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And all the games were canceled.
And we were both on the air doing we were both on the air at Fox.
Right.
But we were doing no sports.
And I remember Fox did a nice thing. We were working for Fox Sports Radio on the national shows.
Yes.
And we got an email saying, if anybody, there were a couple of Fox cameramen, guys I didn't know, but they worked in the building, who were on those planes and died. And Fox said, if you guys donate your salary for this week, we'll match it. So I did. I donated my salary for that week to the 9/11 fund that Fox set up for these 2 photographers.
Yeah.
And then they, so if your salary that week was $5,000, they would make it 10. And that's how they build all this money up for all these people.
Yeah.
But by the way, let me add this too. If you've never been to the 9/11 Museum in New York City, it is incredibly moving. I know I talked about United 93 earlier, but if you ever get a chance to go to New York, and give yourself a little time, give yourself a couple hours, but it's very well done and really good. It's right by where the World Trade Center is, and you can go check it out. So next time you're in New York, go do yourself a favor and go check that out.
All right, coming up next for you, it is What's Up, Fool? In the meantime, it's the new fall season of 710, and be sure to start tomorrow on ESPN Radio's new morning show, Unsportsmanlike, with Evan, Canty, and Michelle. That's tomorrow morning, 6 to 10 a.m. on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Look, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your employees and you pulled your business through the pandemic. And now doing that tough thing can qualify you for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are already out there, already available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. It's not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. The program, though, is super complicated, but nobody knows more about it than the CPAs and the tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do all the work, and then they share a percentage of the cash they get with you. Businesses of all types qualify, including nonprofits and churches. You did the tough thing for your employees during COVID. Let covidtaxrelief.org help get you up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org. covidtaxrelief.org. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
The fun.
So Al and I are teaming up for your chance to win an entire office full of lunch from Waba Grill. So you're going to want to be listening all day during the 12 o'clock lunch hour for your cue to call to pick up food for the entire office, courtesy of Waba Grill.
We got some ribeye, we got some chicken, we got some shrimp.
I'm making it sound like I cooked them myself. Look at these boom boom tacos.
You can visit wabagrill.com. You can order online. Just go on in, get yourself some of these tacos. Visit your local Waba Grill location. Of course, walk right in. Of course, you can order online for delivery or pick up. Waba Grill, right? Eat smart, be healthy. Boom boom, kaboom.
And we've been very excited that What's Up Fool is made possible by our friends at Dos Hombres. In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. All right, so Jamar Chase, after losing to the Cleveland Browns, said, I'm just frustrated because I called they but elves, and we just lost to some elves.
Yeah.
This is in reference to Brownie the Elf, which is apparently the Browns logo, which I don't understand why is an elf.
Yeah, why is
Brownie?
I'm not sure why.
Why do they make Brownie the Elf? John, do you have any idea?
John, any idea?
And is this the stupidest mascot of
Brownie
all the
the
mascots?
Elf. What does Brownie the Elf
Sorry,
even look
Lindsay,
like?
but this is a dumb mascot.
I haven't seen him, so it's hard for me to comment
Yep.
on the elf.
You're reserving.
Look up Brownie the Elf on your computer. Right there.
But I think that it's a bad idea in general, going back to last segment, to call other professional athletes elves because you're, again, giving them bulletin board material. So, Mace, then you have to eat it when the elves beat you.
You've lost to elves. Yeah, I don't get the mascot. I don't understand why Cleveland and elf go together.
Yeah, is there something? Is it Irish?
They're not Irish.
They're not, and it's not even. It's not a
a
leprechaun.
It's a brownie elf.
Yeah.
Brownie the elf. Yeah, I don't know. Is this new?
Must be.
No,
Yeah,
no,
from this-
from 1946.
That's stupid.
Started in 1946.
This is exactly what we were
make
talking
sense.
about, baiting your opponents. You guys are a bunch of elves. The elves kicked your ass. And by the way, scored 1 fantasy point for John Ireland's fantasy football. What's up, fool?
What's up, fool?
All right, got you.
Come on, Brian.
Yesterday
Pick it up.
during the Dolphins and Chargers game, in
Who
the
won that?
fans,
Who won that?
oh, the Dolphins, by
Okay.
2,
Yeah.
it's all right. There was AI robot fans in the stands, and they looked creepy as hell. And there was a bunch of people sitting around them. They were just there in the stands to promote the new movie coming out this month, The Creator, which is a AI versus humans kind of battle.
So these weren't actually people, but they look like people?
Yes, they looked like, I don't know, like pretty much what you would think.
Here's what I don't understand.
The front of their face was a person, and then it was all robot.
Right.
Right,
You
the
see
side
them.
of the head was, you could see through it,
So
kind of.
the face, but you could see through it. Now these weren't real.
Oh, the real, or the robots.
Right, but they didn't do anything.
No,
They
right.
just sat
They're
there.
kind
They
of
were
like
just
dolls.
dummies.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
dolls. The movie, by the way, looks really, really cool. It's called The Creator. I love this as a promotion. And by the way, if you go to SoFi Stadium, I would imagine I'll see exactly the same thing at the Rams game this week. Those movie companies take over that Oculus, and they do or I guess what do we call it? The
Infinity board.
They take over the Infinity board, and there's product play. This, I think, was really, really cool. And stop being so afraid of AI. You guys are so soft.
You wouldn't mind sitting next to one of those the whole
Yeah,
game?
he would. It did.
No, a metal doll? What do I care? Is it a good seat? That's all I care about.
Right.
I'll sit if it's a good seat, I'll sit next to a metal doll. No problem.
Mason is going to get murdered by a replicant, and he's not going to
yes.
see it coming.
A replicant.
You're going to be
with
the
you.
first to go.
First to go.
Because you're going to get right next to them, and they're going to be like, well, you're dead.
No fear.
Bink.
No fear. I'm
It's
not
going to be
saying
like
you guys are soft.
it's going to be like the Kingsman. It's going to be a chip in the robot's head that's going to turn and just attack.
Isn't that what Sam Jackson's
Yeah.
head did? Didn't his head explode?
No, but everybody else's head explode.
Oh,
Taron Egerton finally killed Sam Jackson.
Okay, got it.
But that was it. Spoiler alert from a movie that's 20 years old.
Yeah.
What's up, fool?
One of you guys want to speak?
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody got
It
one?
could be Tyler.
Could be. Could
You want it to be Tyler?
Yeah, go, Tyler, go.
All right, so long, Water Cup. It's been reported that self-serve fountain drink stations at McDonald's locations nationwide will soon be a thing of the past.
Really?
Were you ever that guy and asked for a water cup you knew you weren't going to be using for water? And
never.
yes, really, John.
No,
You're a liar. You did. You absolutely did.
No, but I don't drink water with meals. I would buy a drink. I would buy an iced tea or buy a Coke.
I never asked for a water cup and decided, I'm
I'll
not some
go
Sprite.
one further. I've never asked for a water cup anywhere.
Greg, do you
Where do
drink
you ask
water
for a
with
water
meals?
cup?
Yeah, absolutely.
My son does. That's all he'll drink with meals.
It's water.
I need flavor.
Right.
I
You drink a lot of iced tea.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of Diet Coke.
I drink a lot of water during the show, but it is Hawaiian volcanic water.
And I drink Starbucks water.
Wait, am I understanding this correctly? Drinking water while eating is weird?
No, it's
while
not.
eating a meal.
While eating a meal?
Like at dinner tonight.
It's weird.
When you have dinner tonight, you'll have a steak, baked potato, and water.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
I don't see a problem with that.
With
Yeah.
dinner.
There's
No, I'll
nothing
drink
wrong with
wine,
drinking- it's
beer,
water.
or iced tea.
Yeah, see, I don't drink liquor.
Yeah,
but you're deflecting. You never asked for a water cup
I've
and
never
walked
asked for
up to the fountain.
Never.
And
I've never.
No,
I
absolutely have.
But
I
I've
100% have.
Never.
I'm not that guy, Tyler,
Yeah.
and I always have water on me.
Joys of being rich.
I know somebody, and I'm not going to say their name, but I know somebody who will go through a drive-through and get like you know how when you upgrade they give you like a plastic cup as opposed to a paper cup?
Yep.
So you can save them. I know somebody that does that and saves the cup, and then as they're driving by a location that might be on the brand of the cup, they'll just fill up for the day.
Yeah,
is that Morales?
I will not say who they are.
That
I
is-
will
that
say
is-
though,
no,
it is not
out it.
Morales.
Who was it?
It is
Yeah,
not
who
Morales.
was it? No,
It's
who was
nobody
it?
you know.
No,
It's
no, no,
somebody.
who was it?
I'm
Say
not
the
saying
name.
it. No.
We don't want names.
Just say who it was. It doesn't matter.
I'm not saying it.
Nobody knows who they are.
Just make up
It's my
a name.
sister. I'm not saying it.
Oh my God.
No, never asked for a water cup. I do often have a bottle of water with me.
But this story is true. McDonald's is eliminating the self-serve fountain drink things
That's
in there.
weird to me. Wait, they're eliminating the whole self-serve fountain?
They're eliminating the entire opportunity to go up to a fountain dispensing
So
soda
if you're
station.
going to buy a drink
you
at
have to go
McDonald's,
up
you have to go to the
person
counter and have them
them do
handed
it.
to
Okay,
you.
Yes.
I actually think that's good. I've never
think so,
liked
too.
the self-serve stuff because I don't know what people are doing over there.
Although
I mean,
you have to wait in line to get a refill.
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're asking for water cups and grabbing Coke.
Well, even if you buy it, though, now I can no longer say, like, give me one of everything. Like, some of everything, you can...
Oh, yeah, you
I
can do that.
hate
Can't do the mix.
I hate that button. The mix thing.
No. You just pick, like, you go to Sprite, and then you go to the Pepsi. And
There was
then
a
you
name
go
for
to
that. What was it
Suicide.
called?
We called it
Suicide.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, it tasted good. And now you can't do it anymore.
No, you cannot. You're out of luck.
That's nonsense.
Only at McDonald's.
I
Like,
want to
bring your own cup
King.
for water. I don't
What's
think
up,
that's
fool?
weird.
Yeah,
by the
I've
way.
never
What's
done
up,
it.
What,
fool?
yeah, I've never heard of anybody saying
What's
it's
up,
weird
fool?
to drink water with your meat.
I like water.
I saw this this morning coming in. According to Sham Sharana, the NBA is expected to vote this week on a new rule that would prohibit teams from resting 2 star players in the same game. And they classify star players as someone who made an all-star team or an all-NBA team the past 3 seasons. Would you guys be in favor of this rule?
1,000%.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Anything that addresses load management is a step in the right direction.
What is that going to stop somebody from starting a guy from letting him play 2 minutes and pull him out and he's done?
Better than not having them play at all.
But what? He didn't do anything. He plays like a minute.
Or what about phantom injuries? You can't deal with phantom injuries.
Anything that addresses load management.
But it's not addressing it because, like, you put LeBron wants to
So
load
you want to
manage.
do nothing.
No, I do something. I think this will help a little bit. But what if you
So that's-
Kawhi? You're like, all right, he doesn't want to play today. All right, we tips off, timeout, come off the floor, over. He played.
Right. That's better than what's happening now.
He didn't do anything.
Right.
So the NBA is incorporating a fine system here, fining the team. $100,000 for the first offense, $250,000 for the second offense, and $1 million for a third offense. Teams must manage their rosters to ensure that no more than 1 star player is unavailable for the same game. Teams must ensure that star players are available for national television and in-season tournament games. Teams must maintain a balance between the number of one-game absences for a star player in home games and road games. So in other words, you miss a home game, you have to miss a road. No. If you play a home game, you've got to play the road game, right?
Okay.
And teams must ensure that healthy players resting for a game are present and visible to fans.
Like all those moves.
Yeah, they're all good moves.
And by the way, the NBA coaches forced this on the NBA competition committee because people like Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich would Steve Kerr twice this year.
Yeah.
Twice. The Warriors went into New Orleans and he sat Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins on the same night twice. So anybody buying tickets in New Orleans didn't get to see those guys. And when they asked Kerr about it, he goes, I hate doing it, but these are second nights of a back-to-back, and we're not doing it.
So you're basically allowed 1 DNP rest of a star player per game. So
per week, right?
No,
per game. So what? Like if Curry sits, you got to play Klay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I like
you're
it.
always going to get some start. I think these are very progressive rules.
Greg,
that are gonna
I
make a
would
big
say
difference.
this. You're right. It's not a perfect thing, but it's a step in the right direction, and
I'll
it's
agree with
better than the Bergman plan of doing nothing.
No. That's not my plan. I'm just saying what is it going to stop somebody from doing something else. But you're right. It's a step in the right
$1
direction.
million fine is $1 million fine.
Yeah.
That's still $1 million.
Yeah, but you can't fine him if Kawhi goes onto the floor for 30 seconds.
Right, but I'm saying that if he goes on the floor for 30 seconds, maybe he'll play.
Yeah.
If he's going to take the time to warm up and get dressed.
You don't technically need to warm up.
Well, but in the end, it's viewed as, these are the health science people, that if you warm up for a game, it's the equivalent of playing for.
But again, you don't have to actually warm up for the game. You can just stand around and do nothing, and then when it tip, timeout, you go off the floor, and that's it.
So you're already planning on all sorts of scammery?
Oh, sure. Oh, you don't think there'll be scammery? Come on now.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Absolutely will.
Scammery. I like it.
Every time
Sounds
you
good.
come up with a word that doesn't sound like a word, it turns out to be a word. So I won't doubt you, but scammery sounds made up.
One who perpetuates a scam.
There it is.
Yeah.
Again, every friggin' time.
I don't know where these words come from. They're definitely not ones that I know normally. All right. Coming up next for you, big day for the Rams as they come out of the box 1-0. Big road win at Seattle. The Raiders win. They beat Denver yesterday. The Chargers did a Charger kind of thing yesterday. We got all that coming up for you. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
So Al and I are teaming up for your chance to win an entire office full of lunch from Waba Grill. So you're going to want to be listening all day during the 12 o'clock lunch hour for your cue to call to pick up food for the entire office, courtesy of Waba Grill.
We got some ribeye, we got some chicken, we got some shrimp.
Look at these boom boom tacos.
You can visit wabagrill.com. You can order online. Just go on in, get yourself some of these tacos. Visit your local Waba Grill location. Of course, walk right in. Of course, you can order online for delivery or pickup. Waba Grill, right? Eat smart, be healthy. Boom boom, kaboom.
Sports. And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Monday afternoon.
I mean, Mason running around the station basically naked.
Here we go. Happy Monday. It is the Monday that the new fall season of 710 begins, and it is the Monday that one Steve Mason can tell us that the Rams are unbeaten after that manhandling of those stinking Seahawks yesterday in Seattle.
The Rams were doubted and discounted, and they are 1-0 flying home on adrenaline from the Pacific Northwest. They said this was a no-name defense. Well, how about no points surrendered in the second half of the opener?
Meanwhile, Corporate Craig and Johnny Eyes Raiders with the big win in the Mile High City, and poor producer Brian Cohen's Chargers. He is a Chargers fan, right? They choke again, Jack. Oh, it's delightful. Plus, we're going to get the scoop. Yeah, I know you never thought I'd mention producer Tyler in it open, but He's a Seattle fan, and he's got the John Ireland fantasy team in the palm of his hand. We'll get the latest updates. Oh, and USC, number 5 in the country, Jack. That and so much more. A Rams Reaction Monday. We got a new fall lineup. Let's do it. Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon, right now.
3 o'clock crowd. What's up, people? It is the first Monday of the NFL season. We had college football over the weekend. We had the Rams winning yesterday. We had the Raiders winning yesterday. I've been saying for weeks now, and everybody's like, crumble for Caleb or quit for Caleb or whatever the thing is to try to get Caleb Williams next year. There is no question that the Rams and the Raiders have no intention of trying to chase Caleb Williams.
And yesterday was that example. By the way, you mentioned this is the first Monday of the football season. Maybe not. The latest from Adam Schefter. Public safety alert at MetLife Stadium. From New Jersey State Police, there is severe weather approaching. All patrons must seek shelter inside the stadium, inside your vehicles, or walk over the bridge. Do not gather at the entrances. Wow. Event staff are available to guide and assist you. So Greg, you mentioned there may be a weather delay. This is the first time I'm thinking they may have to call it off.
They're all inside the stadium, but yeah.
The game's supposed to kick off in 2 hours.
If it's that unsafe,
you can't play the game.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Which would, a game in New York on 9/11 would be really cool. So I hope the weather holds up and
too.
They can play.
It was a great day for the Rams. If you watch that game, the defense really, a bunch of just hardcore dogs out there playing. Don't even know a lot of their names. Ernest Jones, we know. Obviously, AD, we know. But a lot of these guys are playing, frankly, their first NFL game, and it happens to be in Seattle on the road in front of a very, very big crowd. Big, that's a tough place to play. Puka Nacua was a revelation yesterday. Tutu Atwell picked up where he left off from the end of last season. Kyren Williams kind of saw more touches than Cam Akers did. Kyren Williams ran for 2 touchdowns, almost 3. Nobody touched Matthew Stafford all day long. Actually, there were 2 quarterback hits, but he was not sacked. And I had forgotten how great Matthew Stafford is. Sidearm slinging that football. Just a great, perfect beginning for the Rams 2023 season.
And just watching the Rams yesterday, and I watched the whole game, I think they can give the Niners a game on Sunday.
Sure.
Before yesterday, I would have said Niners by 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And they still could win by 2 touchdowns. But I think the Rams are going to give them a game.
Meanwhile, if you're just tuning in, John's fantasy football team is in real trouble going into tonight's game.
All right, brief recap. I flew back from a trip. I was flying home from North Carolina on Wednesday. Couldn't do the draft. Tyler, one of our producers, Tyler Whitman, agreed to draft for me and drafted perhaps the worst fantasy football team in Hollywood Football League history.
Which is saying something.
31 years in this league. I don't think I've ever seen. Now, Tyler is adamant that I'm overreacting, that he has not drafted a bad team. Tyler, Mason is ahead by 24 points tonight. He has Garrett Wilson. You have Dalvin Cook. But I still think you're going down. You're going down hard. And I seriously think you're going to struggle to win a game this year. What say you?
First of all, the matchup between Mason and I is already over. There's no recovering. There's no salvaging.
Dalvin Cook is not going to score 30 points by himself.
Week 1 is an L for Team Irish
There you
Luck.
go.
However, and again, I revert back to what Matthew Berry said about this team. It is a good foundation for a fantasy football team. There just needs to be activity on the waiver wire, which you'll be happy to know there will be.
Yeah, well, the good news is if you're as bad as this team is, you're going to get to pick at the top of the waiver wire every week.
Do you get Puka Nacua?
He could. I think there's one team.
I put in a claim for him.
He has 35 points, and there's a team that has 31 points.
Yep.
The team that has 31 points will get first pick.
If I'm being honest, that team should immediately go for Rice, who's the backup running back for Baltimore, because Dobbins is out.
If not, just put him on your list, and you'll get one of the two.
Yeah, you'll get one of the two.
It's either Puka or Rice, and I think both of those would be great additions.
Yeah, your team will go from really bad to pretty bad.
Just bad.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my team. By the way, my team is not great.
So what you need is to play me a lot.
Yeah. No, what I've got Justin Fields, and the Bears were awful.
Well,
awful.
And Justin Fields was really bad.
I mean, honestly, that my whole strategy was built around Justin Fields in the 5th round. I got him, and now he looks terrible.
Okay. Offer right now, Tyler. I'm going to make him an offer. Tell me you're
making me an offer?
No, we're going to
Don't try to trade me Geno Smith.
It's not your team anymore, Ireland.
Tyler, this is what we should do.
Hold the phone. Time out. Is it my team or is it not my team?
It's your team.
Okay.
But can I make a suggestion?
I will entertain a suggestion.
Offer him Geno Smith and something else for Justin Fields.
I don't want Justin Fields.
And I don't want to trade him.
I would rather watch Mace's team tank all season long with Justin Fields.
I think Justin Fields was
that mess.
6th in fantasy points last year. I think they're going to be bad.
He has regressed.
Well, we'll see.
Agreed. He only has Mooney. Who else did he throw to?
Hey,
1 week.
Week 1 is a dirty little liar. A dirty little liar.
You don't seem to feel that way about your Rams, though.
Get Mark Sanchez on the show. He invented dirty little liar. It's a good one. Sanchez is really good.
Great.
Yeah, and Kevin Kugler, who I did the Olympics with, is his
partner?
His partner, yeah.
I'm watching Austin Eckler, second most points among running backs.
Oh, boy.
Run wild on Fantasy Live.
Was he available at 2, Tyler?
Oh, yeah.
Eckler?
He wasn't for some reason. I don't know why.
Everyone except Justin Jefferson was available at 2.
Yeah.
We took Jamar Chase. But it was the
right call. To be a good pick.
No. The pick that you're going to live to regret is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay,
at 26.
Fine. I will take the lashings for Jahmyr Gibbs until week 3 when he ultimately becomes RB1 in front of Montgomery. Montgomery is old. He's got dust on his shoulders. They're going to figure it out. Gibbs is going to be the end zone guy.
Matthew Berry said he was going to get 250 touches.
Yeah, that's what Matthew Berry said about Montgomery.
End zone boy. Watch.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling off Matthew Berry, too.
Tell him.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Tyler could be right.
So I don't like to dwell.
Stop.
Do you know that feeling of Schadenfreude?
Yeah.
This is not a case of Schadenfreude. I just think it's kind of funny, and it shows you that
it's when you wish bad luck to another person.
And you enjoy bad luck to someone. So I'm not experiencing that, and I don't want that to be the message. But this is proof that nobody knows nothing. Our friend, I watch sometimes Colin Cowherd on TV. He went 0 for 5 on what he calls his blazing 5 picks against the spread.
Really? I don't think he's ever done that before.
That is hard to do, to go 0 for 5.
That is hard.
But, I mean, seriously, nobody knows nothing. How many people thought Seattle was just going to stomp the Rams yesterday? Yeah. I went to bed last night. I said to Juan, I'm like, we're 1-0. He's like, yeah, I knew we were going to be.
On the road against a team that was good last
year. Exactly. I think this team's got a chance to be, and I'm going to be real about it. San Francisco's really tough.
Right.
But
perhaps, hey, you always say, you always like to say, buy low, right?
Yes.
Well, Tyler has 4 Seattle Seahawks on our Irish Luck Fantasy roster.
3. Don't count Drew Lock.
Is he on our roster?
Don't count Drew Lock.
Is he on our roster?
Only because somebody mandated me to have 3 quarterbacks.
No,
right,
but Geno Smith.
But now, Tyler, you can just cut him or trade him.
He's already gone, as far as I'm concerned.
But Mace, 4 Seahawks. You want them?
Nope.
Come on.
Not Seattle's year.
Come on.
I love the guy who bet $1 million on Seattle yesterday. He felt so sure about it.
Right.
That guy is Tyler.
If I had $1 million to bet, you wouldn't be talking to me right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
good point.
True. Yeah, no, the opening week is interesting. We're trying to figure out who everybody is. I think if you look at it realistically, what the Cowboys did to the Giants last night, I think is probably the most impressive performance of the weekend.
And the biggest shock of week 1 to me was the Rams. But the honest answer to that question is the Giants. The Giants were good last year, and they lost 40-0 at home.
Yeah, that's brutal.
On Sunday Night Football to a division rival. I mean, that is awful.
Want to hear something crazy? No team has ever lost 40-0 or worse, lost the sack battle 7-0 or worse, lost the turnover battle 3-0 or worse, had a blocked field goal returned for a TD, threw a pick 6 in the same season. All those things have never happened in the same season.
And it all happened on one
all
night.
happened last night.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, coming up next for you, what are the Mannings were supposed to add a third person, did they?
They are looking.
Okay, let's get into that. Coming up next, Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It's
And then, of course, the 9 Hour LA Sports Mega Block, live and local with Trav Slee, Mason and Ireland, Shinano and Cap. Right now, the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, continues on 710.
Woke up this morning and said, oh my God, the Rams are 1-0.
There you go. Shocking.
What a day. What a great day to be alive. All right, I want everybody to know this because I love when we do these things. We are hosting a Mason and Ireland poker tournament at Commerce Casino on Saturday, September 30. Now, there's $5,000 in cash prize money. The buy-in, absolutely free. You can play with us. Go to ESPNLA.com and register today. That's going to be on September the 30th. I'm excited about that. That's the same day.
It's later this month.
Yeah, same day USC plays Colorado in Boulder.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it should be a primetime game. All right, so we don't know what's going on with the game tonight. There's hazardous conditions. There's a public safety warning. So,
although I've got ESPN on, and they're doing their whole show from there, and they're acting as if the game's going off. So we'll keep an eye on it.
The Manning cast is going to return tonight, I assume. Yeah. And they've talked about adding a third person to the Manning cast.
Yeah, and they've been holding auditions. Now, Greg, do you know who these people are? We'll be able to hear it. But do you know who these people are? Tyler, do you know who these people are that we're going to...
got Sean McVay on
there.
Okay,
but we'll have to call them out as we go, right? Can you call them out as we go?
Let me pull up the video.
Okay, pull up the video, yeah.
Yeah, I think that... I know they got Livy Dunn.
It looks like they say their names. I'm watching one of it. It says, hi, I'm Jared Goff.
Okay, good.
Right, some of them say their names, some of them don't.
Okay,
right.
let's listen to it
Here
and
it
see
is.
who would be good.
Hi, I'm Jared Goff, quarterback, here to audition.
So, Jared, how excited are you about the opportunity to be on the most popular show on television?
Isn't this for the Manningcast?
How do you feel about audibles?
We generally just want the quarterback to run the play that's called. That's the play.
Sean McVay, Los Angeles Rams head coach.
You guys are terrible evaluators, and go yourself.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm just here because your guys have the most punchable face in the history of punching faces.
Wow, Reese Witherspoon. I mean, we're honored you'd even consider auditioning for the Manning cast.
Manning what? Oh, no, I was calling to bundle my home and auto. Aren't you the insurance guy?
Hi, Lil Wayne, Wheezy Baby, President Carter.
I'm Peyton, and this is Lil Brother. Let's get some sleeves on you, big boy.
I don't think the job's for me. I have no idea what this is, but I don't think I'm the right guy.
Well, we tried our best. Guess it's just the two of us again this season.
Unless there's someone on that list who is just perfect for the job.
Nope. Not on this list.
You've been waiting here a long time, too? No. I didn't get the Manningcast job.
So that was.
I guess I'll just come back and play football again.
Tom Brady. Oh, yeah. So that's so. In the end, I guess they're not going to have a third person. Is that what I'm supposed to take?
Well, they have
from
guests
this?
on almost every minute that they're doing it.
But hasn't everybody mostly done the Manning cast by now? Like, is there anybody left that
like? There's one,
done it?
and they don't do it every week. Like, there's one tonight.
Yeah,
but then they don't do it again until week 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's only 2 guests tonight. It's John McEnroe and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, John McEnroe's great. I saw John McEnroe interview Aaron Rodgers today. It's going to be on Monday Night Countdown. McEnroe and who else?
And Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzmagic. Yeah, Fitzmagic. Pride of Harvard.
Now, will you guys watch Joe and Troy, or will you watch the Manning cast?
Joe and Troy.
I'm switching to Joe and Troy.
Yeah,
I don't need to watch
switch
that
between
anymore.
them.
I'm
back and forth?
Yeah, I'll go back and
I'm
forth.
100% Manning cast.
I'm not anymore.
See, if you watch the Manning cast, it tends to be not about the game. It tends to be about them, and I'm there to watch a game. I love them, but it detracts from the game for me.
I will say this. Before they hired Joe and Troy, I had no interest in watching the regular game at all.
Right.
Now that they're there, I do. I mean, I may flip back and forth, but when it was the previous Monday night team, those guys were just calling the game and they weren't doing a lot. I just said Manning cast all the way.
Yeah. See, I'm a huge Joe Buck fan. He does hate the Dodgers, but I
does not.
am a huge Joe Buck fan. We should get Joe back on the show.
Yeah.
He did the show during the pandemic. Great guy.
He's really good. He's always really good.
Now, there is something, and I have no idea what this is. Bergman told me this morning, there's something that he has come full circle on and now agrees with me completely, right?
100% I now agree with you. I can't even listen to this person anymore.
Who?
Tony Romo.
There you go. I cannot listen to him.
What game did he do yesterday?
Awful.
They did Patriots and
was it Eagles?
Yeah.
Whatever he was, and every time he spoke, I was like, "God, will you just shut up?" Like he
never stops,
he wasn't even saying He wasn't even saying anything.
Ireland's impression is for real.
Jim, it's a pass, Jim. See the tight end. See how his foot's backwards, Jim. Here it comes. It's a pass. Jim. Handoff, run around the right end.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
It was enough. I just can't stand him anymore. I was fine with it. I liked him for a long time.
See that free safety? He's coming out for the next play. He's got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm done with Tony Romo.
Now, here's the thing I want to point out.
I actually switched the game because I don't want to hear him.
Eventually, you hear me talk a lot. Eventually, everybody comes around to see things my way.
Nothing could be further from the
Just
truth.
eventually, you guys come around and you're like for example,
I think you're actually wrong more than you're right.
I told you the Raiders are
That's
not
true.
tanking, and you guys are like Caleb Williams. They
No,
win
I
yesterday.
want them to tank. They're not going to tank.
Okay, but you thought they were tanking.
No, I thought
the Rams were
I
tanking.
wanted them
I
to
did.
tank.
I did not.
I thought the Rams and the Raiders.
I was
were
around
both
the Rams enough and talked to
By
enough
the
people
way,
to believe they weren't tanking.
The Cardinals didn't look like they were tanking yesterday.
No, they actually played hard.
That was the game you and I had to win to
The Washington game, yeah.
Survive in Survivor, and the Cardinals had the lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So maybe nobody's tanking.
Yeah, I don't think, you got a bunch of scrappy guys. They're going to play hard, and they're going to pull some wins off. Arizona looked playable yesterday. The Rams got them in the first 6. If you look at the Rams schedule, the only problem for the Rams is they've got 3 powerhouses coming up. They got San Francisco at home. That's this Sunday. They are 8-point dogs. Then they go to not Baltimore. They go to Indianapolis at the Colts. Then they are home to the Eagles and home to the Cardinals. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think after the Cardinals game, they will be 3-3.
I think that'd be a good thing.
Really,
I
good
had
thing.
them 1-5 at the start of the season.
Yeah, you got at the Colts.
And now I no longer think that. I misjudged
I
him.
thought that Anthony Richardson looked pretty good yesterday. He had
Got
moments.
hurt at the end.
Yeah,
so we'll see if he's around.
So it goes Niners home at Bengals Monday night, and Joe Burrow did not look great yesterday.
And by the way, did you see that Anthony Richardson got hurt? And right before that, I think the announcer said, "You can't keep running like that, Anthony Richardson. You can't keep running
Did
like
he?
that." Yeah, and then he got blasted.
Is he okay or is he not?
I'm not sure. What
He came out.
He came out
of the game. Yeah.
But
But I like
guys get hurt like that.
And then after that, as Travis Rogers has pointed out, the schedule eases up a lot. Home Steelers. The Steelers
looked awful.
Looked terrible. Kenny Pickett, small hands. At the Cowboys, that's a beast of a game. At Green Bay. Green Bay looked really good yesterday.
I want to see how they look against the Niners. If it's a competitive game against the Niners, I think your original prediction of 7-9 wins is accurate.
You don't think 7-9 is accurate right now? You don't think this team can get to 7 wins? I have
do.
a range of 7-9.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is, if they're competitive with the Niners, they don't even have to win the game.
Right.
Then I think your prediction is good. If they get blown out 40-0 like the Giants did last night, then maybe not. But let's Sunday's going to tell us a lot.
It's a pretty good measuring stick.
You're going to that game, right?
Yeah, I'll be there on Sunday. First game of the year. I'm excited. I don't know how they did it. The most amazing thing is, last year they used whatever it was, 14 offensive line combinations, something like that. And yesterday, no sacks and only 2 quarterback hits. Matthew Stafford with an offensive line is pretty dangerous. All right, Mason and Ireland. Did I mention I did mention the poker tournament. So anyways, go sign up for that. Coming up next for you. Over the weekend, a Major League Baseball player met his idol, and he could not contain himself. That's coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. Hey, if you own a business, like I did for many, many years here in Southern California, 35 years, I got a way for you to make some extra money with Amazon Hub Delivery. So here's the deal. This is a great deal. Every day, Amazon delivers packages to your business. Then you and your staff deliver them, and you get paid for every package you deliver with weekly direct deposits. You don't need experience. You don't have to sign a long-term contract. And if you refer another small business, you get $500. Get some extra income for you and your business with Amazon Hub Delivery. Go to Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. Stay tuned for Yacht Rock. Like it or not.
I love Yacht Rock now. I've been listening to it all the time.
You sound like a 55-year-old white man.
It doesn't matter. I went to the concert. What was the name of that concert? Who was that guy?
All right, this song,
Gino Manelli.
No, is a song. This
Captain
guy was
Antonio.
a one-hit wonder.
John Sebastian.
No. God, I used to know this. The name of this song is Thunder Island.
Thunder Island, yeah.
And I think
Glenn Campbell.
It's a guy named Jay Ferguson. But
That's right.
don't know.
Jay
Is it
Ferguson,
really?
Thunder Island.
Yeah. And
Wow.
this was the only hit he ever had.
Yeah, when I saw Yachtly Crew, it sealed it for me. I am now a Yacht Rock fan.
There's a competitor to Yacht.
Yeah,
Crew,
it's
right?
Yachty by Nature.
Yachty by Nature. There are two.
Take them both.
Yacht Rock cover bands. All right, so
It's a big business.
Over the weekend, Willie Adames, who's a shortstop for the
Good player.
Milwaukee Brewers, nice player. He met his childhood hero Derek Jeter and really couldn't contain himself. The Yankees and he.
It was
were
Old
together.
Timers Day at Yankee Stadium. It's the first time Jeter's come back for it, and Adames ran out of the dugout when he saw him.
Yep.
And then got to walk up to him and tell him how much he idolized him. And then when he ran away, he was like a little kid jumping up and down and smiling, and because he was so excited. And it got me to thinking, Bergman, is there anybody you could meet in the world alive that would cause you to lose it?
To lose it?
To be like
a little
speechless or like a little kid jumping up and down like, can't believe I just met that person.
I didn't think so because we meet so many famous people all the
Right.
time. Being on this, like I met Shaq.
Well, yeah, you run in
No.
famous people's
Here.
circles.
You're corporate Greg, of
This
course.
is what we
Corporate
do
Greg,
here.
sure.
We've met people. We've had people on the show.
True.
But then I thought, well, Margot Robbie.
You wouldn't be able to speak.
You would be
most
dumbstruck?
likely. Probably. She's beautiful.
All right, Tyler, how about you? Is there a person, male or female, that exists in the world that if you met them, you would lose it?
I can give you a male and a female.
Okay.
Female, Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
Because she's still stunning.
Well, she's
Ages like
eventually
fine
going
wine.
to date Cappy. So you'll get a chance to meet her one day.
I look forward
Well,
to that
Kathy
happening
intends
for
to
Cappy.
date both her and Rachel at the same time.
Of course he does.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, who's the
It
guy?
can be done.
David Ortiz.
David
Big
Ortiz.
Poppy. I heard he's
David
very
Ortiz.
nice.
Yeah,
I think
I've heard
that
he's
might
the
go well
sweetest
for
man.
you.
He's a legend for me, at least, for the Red Sox Nation, at least. So, yeah, I would lose it. If I met David
Brian,
Ortiz.
how about you?
Probably between two people, Adam Sandler, like the movie, TV kind of realm,
Yeah.
or Kershaw. Just grew up on Kershaw. Greatest I've ever seen. I would lose it.
Can you do anything to help his velocity?
All right, Mace,
Let me
is
get a
there
little juice.
any in the world that exists that would cause you to lose it?
I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. I've watched John Wick movies nonstop. I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 was great, by the way. So I would say Keanu Reeves is one. I get very, like when we interviewed LeBron on Media Day, I was intimidated talking to LeBron because he's LeBron James. I mean, he may be, it's like when we used to have Media Day and we used to talk to Kobe, and I would think, that's Kobe Bryant. We're with Kobe Bryant right now. Those are the ones that really got me more than anything.
Nobody in sports would do that for me, like would cause me to lose it. I'm trying to think of somebody outside of sports.
But what about intimidate you?
I can't think of anybody that.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah,
no,
we
have I
always
ever
fall back on Kate Beckinsale.
No, but have I ever told you guys? I've told Mason. I've told you this story, but so one time my wife's beaten cancer a couple of times, and she had this unbelievable surgeon, this girl named Maggie Denomi. She's awesome.
Yeah, she
saved the lives of like tons of people. Wow. So one day Maggie called and she said, "Hey, I'm doing a fundraiser, and it's a yoga fundraiser. Like you would come over to my house and do yoga, and we're gonna have people sponsor you.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna do it. And so that's all I knew about this.
Yeah.
So Lisa gets there, and Kate Beckinsale's at the yoga class.
Yeah,
and she sends me this picture.
Oh,
and
wow!
And I think this was kind of mean. You're gonna think it's funny. Lisa writes this, caption the picture this way: "Just think, honey. You get to sleep with one of these girls whenever you want."
That's funny.
I thought it was mean.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and my response, which was not well received, was, "Really? Which one?"
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale.
I met her once.
Did you?
Yeah. Gunnar Peterson, who's like a celebrity trainer to the stars, was hired by the Lakers for 2 or 3 years to be our director of training.
Right.
Like, so he was basically, they outsourced him to be in charge of, like, work with the players.
Right.
And he doesn't do this anymore. This was like 2-3 years ago. So I went out drinking with him one night, and he said, he goes, so I hear you're really into Kate Beckinsale. I go, yeah, I think she's like the most beautiful woman in the world. He goes, well, she's coming to the game on Thursday.
Right.
And he said, you want to meet her? And so I walked down when she was like down talking to Gunnar, and he introduced me to her, and she lives up to the hype. She's great, but I didn't lose it. I don't know if I would lose it with anybody. My wife would lose it with Adele.
Adele
is her, like, she would be speechless.
Has she seen him?
Seen her twice.
Seen her, yeah.
Yeah, and likes her so much that when I pointed out to her, I go, well, get ready to get depressed, because every one of Adele's songs is about heartbreak.
Right.
And Lisa goes, that's not true. I go, name one that isn't. She goes, well, what? Oh, my God, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Every one of them are all about heartbreak.
Yeah.
But apparently Adele at concerts, I've never been, Lisa's been twice, but Adele is very upbeat at concerts.
Is she really?
Like and then she sings a song, and then she tells a joke, and then she does something else. And yeah, apparently she's great live.
Hey, we didn't have to use that today. Normally that gets played after a loss, right?
Yeah, after a loss.
Yeah, we had it tapped.
Hey, what do you think of this? JB Long just tweeted this out. He said the best thing that he learned today: Rams cornerback Darian Kendrick has a nickname for receiver Puka Nacua, Puka Doncic.
Oh, I like it.
That's good.
Puka Doncic.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, but I hope JD finds a way to, or JB finds a way to work that in. Yeah, that'd be good.
Let me ask you a question. I was watching the Pat McAfee show today. Have you seen it yet?
Not since it moved to ESPN.
It's really good.
Okay.
So I have got this idea that I want to stand while doing the show and wearing a sleeveless tee.
Okay.
Like Pat.
Okay.
So does this, like, can you hear me if I do this?
Yes.
So if I wore a sleeveless tee,
can you lift it up?
That's as high as it goes. High as it goes.
No, but yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, you can hear me fine.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do the show like Pat McAfee.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to for
tomorrow
years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys.
I like doing the show, by the way, standing up. Some of my best shows have been standing. We used to do it
tomorrow.
Yeah, we used to do standing up all the time. Yeah. But do you guys remember Robin Meade on CNN?
Yes.
She doesn't work there anymore.
She was like a morning.
Yeah, she did mornings there for like 20 years. Robin Meade had, and these exist, if you go on Amazon, you can find these, a treadmill desk.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, in other words, she would stand up.
Yep.
This is as high as this will go. And at her feet
yep.
is a treadmill.
Yeah.
So she'd be working out while she was working in her office. She'd be typing on her computer, and, but the whole time she was on a treadmill.
But not when she was doing the show.
No.
Okay.
That would be really
impressive.
If they want to bring 2 treadmills in here, we will do the show on a treadmill.
Speaking of which, where do we stand on massage chairs?
All right, I'm moving on them. I was giving Shafi the chance to hook us up, our sales guy. And every time I talk to him, he goes, can you give me another week? Can you give me another week? I think I've given him like a month.
Morales does a good Shafi impression.
He
really does mock Shafi a lot.
No, he's a great guy.
Oh, he's
Shafi.
fantastic. Not much of a third baseman, but he's good at sales.
He kept saying, well, I'm going to get you guys an endorsement deal for massage chairs.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Right. But do we give him another month or do we
No,
move?
I want my massage chair.
We'll start moving on.
I'm ready to go.
All right, good.
Yeah, I've got the all clear.
Right. I'm going to I'll have info for you before the end of the month. What's today? Today's the 11th. All right, so I'll have info for you before the end of this month on massage chairs.
Excellent. Tyler, you said something. What was it?
Would you mind doing the liner here,
I
please?
will happily do the liner, and then we got Game of Games. Hey, Mason and Ireland hosting a poker tournament at Commerce Casino on Saturday, September 30th. $5,000 in cash prizes. Buy-in absolutely free. Come hang out with us. Play some poker. Go to ESPNLA.com. Register today. Game of Games is next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It's Evan Cohen. It's a
up. Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time, and we welcome to the show the great Scott Kaplan. Cappy, what's up?
Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hope everybody's feeling great after a football weekend.
What a day yesterday.
Cappy, were you in attendance for UCLA's dominant performance over San Diego State?
I sure was.
I think we have a quarterback now. I like that kid.
Oh, that kid looks good, right?
Yeah.
They also have
Dante
a running
Moore.
back. They got this kid running back that transferred. I'm trying to remember from where he transferred from, some Mid-American school.
Carson Steele?
Carson Steele's like Danny Woodhead.
Yeah,
out
he
there.
is. Yeah. He's like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Brian, Tyler, Greg, Mace, and Cappy.
Okay.
5 people. Tonight on ESPN, weather permitting, is the start of the 53rd season of Monday Night Football. So I have a quiz about that. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the original play-by-play announcer for Monday Night Football in that first season? Was it A, Frank Gifford, B, Keith Jackson, or C, Pat Summerall? Brian Cohen, Gifford, Jackson, or Summerall?
Let's go Summerall.
Okay, Tyler.
I'm also going Summerall.
Greg.
Gifford.
Mace.
Gifford.
Cappy.
Whoa, Keith Jackson.
Scott Kaplan has the
Yeah,
lead.
it just occurred to me. Yeah,
It was Keith Jackson that first year, and then Rune Arledge brought in Gifford to replace him. By the way Jackson found out, got to his hotel room and had 10 messages from reporters saying,
no,
hey, we hear
that's
you've
terrible.
been replaced.
Yeah, that's
and he was. All right, number 2, Cap with the lead. The individual record for most yards rushing in a Monday Night Football game is 221 yards. Who holds that record? Is it A, Barry Sanders, B, Earl Campbell, or C, Bo Jackson? It's either Sanders, Campbell, or Jackson. Tyler, which one?
Sanders.
Greg.
Sanders.
Mace.
Campbell.
Cappy.
Earl Campbell.
Brian.
Campbell.
You all missed it. It's Bo Jackson.
Damn.
Remember he had the famous run through the tunnel in Seattle
Yeah,
where he
that's
knocked
right,
over Brian
Bosworth.
Bosworth? Okay.
Yeah.
So still 1-0 in favor of Scott Kaplan.
Yes, sir.
All right, number 3. Greg, this one coming to you.
Okay.
The individual record for most yards passing in a Monday Night Football game is 517 yards.
I think I know this one.
Who holds that record? Is it A, Jared Goff, B, Patrick Mahomes, or C, Tom Brady?
I don't
Goff,
know this
Mahomes, or Brady? Which one are you
I
going
thought
to
it was
get?
Brett Favre for some reason. I'm going to go. Was he? It was
Goff, Mahomes, or Brady?
Goff, Mahomes, or Brady? Goff.
Okay, Mace.
Yeah, it was that Monday night game. I'm
Chiefs.
going to say Goff with more yards.
Okay, Cappy.
Gosh, that Mahomes-Goff game seems like a trick question here. I'm going to go Brady.
Okay, Brian.
I'm going to go Mahomes.
Tyler.
I'm going with Goff.
The only one who sniffed it out was Scott Kaplan. I was a total bait and switch. Brady had 517 yards in a completely different game. Both those guys had almost 500, but Brady has the record. Guys, Scott Kaplan is the only one on the board.
Yeah. Damn. Anybody else want to play today?
All right.
I'm going to step in now.
Shadano's going to play.
Mace.
Yeah.
This one coming to you.
Okay.
This team has the most all-time wins on Monday night with 55. Is it A, the Pittsburgh Steelers, B, the Dallas Cowboys, C, the San Francisco 49ers? Pittsburgh, Dallas, or San Francisco?
I think you probably put this in here to irritate me. I'll say San Francisco.
All right, Cappy?
Pittsburgh.
Brian?
Pittsburgh.
Tyler?
Pittsburgh.
Greg?
Pittsburgh.
The correct answer, Pittsburgh. And Scott Kaplan leads 3-1.
I said it before they even
did.
gave the guesses.
He did.
What's that?
I said it before they even gave the guesses.
Okay, here we go. For Cappy, this one coming to you. For 11 years, from 1970 to 1981, this team went 18-1-1 on Monday night. Is it A, the Dolphins, B, the Raiders, or C, the Rams? Dolphins, Raiders, or Rams? Cap.
I'm going to go Dolphins.
Brian.
I'm going to go Dolphins.
Tyler.
Raiders.
Greg.
The Raiders.
Mace.
Need a point. I'm going to say Dolphins.
The correct answer. The Oakland Raiders.
Yeah,
Tyler and Greg are on the board.
I must be out of this thing by now. I haven't gotten a single
Cappy
one right.
3, Tyler 2, Greg 2, Brian 1. Mace, let me see how many are left. There are 1,
Just put me out of
2,
my misery here.
3, 4 left, so you're not dead yet, but you're close.
I'm dead. I'm on life support.
All right, this one coming back to you, Brian. In the year 2000, the San Francisco 49ers did something they had not done in 19 seasons on Monday Night Football. What was it? A, they played a game without Joe Montana or Steve Young as the starting quarterback. B, they didn't appear on Monday Night Football at all. Or C, they played to a tie against the Saints, the first tie in Niners history on a Monday night. A, B, or C, game without Montana and Young, didn't appear at all, or played to a tie.
I'm going to go with B. Didn't appear at all.
They didn't appear at all. Tyler.
I'm going to say A. First game without
Montana or Young. Greg.
Didn't appear.
Mace.
I'm going tie.
Cappy.
I'm going didn't appear.
Didn't appear is the correct answer, which means Mace is eliminated, and
thank God.
you took the Curtis.
Yeah.
You had none.
Do I get to do the last ones just to see if I can complete the Curtis?
Absolutely.
Yes, okay, good.
I'll
Let's
put you in there.
See if I can miss them all.
The score is Cappy 4, Greg 3, Tyler and Brian 2 each.
Now
I was the last one to go skunk. You know what I mean? Where I got nothing.
Now I'm trying to go to miss them all.
3 left for Mace to
Now
pull
I'll
the
get
Curtis.
one right.
All right. In 1986, Monday Night Football went to a 2-man announcer booth after 17 years of having 3 men call the game. Who were those 2 announcers? A, Al Michaels and John Madden. B, Frank Gifford and Joe Namath. C, Al Michaels and Frank Gifford. So Michaels and Madden, Gifford and Namath, Michaels and Gifford. Mace, which one?
Let's go Michaels and Madden.
Okay, Cappy.
See, Mace is trying to lose them all.
I'm trying to lose, yeah.
I know, and I feel like that one actually has some
You
legitimate.
mean I stumbled into the right answer?
Yeah, you might have.
All right, Cappy. Michaels and Madden, Gifford and Namath, Michaels and Gifford.
Michaels and Gifford.
Brian.
Michaels and Madden.
Tyler.
Oh, man. I got to go Michaels and Gifford.
Greg.
I want to try and get a point. So Gifford and Namath.
I think that's the right answer.
The correct answer. Al Michaels and Frank Gifford, and Scott Kaplan has the lead.
Yes.
Mace
Yes,
is
sir.
still winless. Right now, Cappy 5, Tyler 3, Bergman 3, Brian 2.
Oh, Cappy's got to go first.
Yeah.
And with only 2 left, Brian, you're out.
No, he's
Brian.
tied, is he?
He has 2. Cappy has
You
5.
and I are tied.
Oh, yeah, we're tied.
Mace is still alive because he's going for the Curtis. Cappy has to go first. Cap, as Monday Night Football's popularity soared, celebrities started dropping by the booth during games. Which politician and singer appeared together at the same time on a Monday Night Football broadcast? A, Ronald Reagan and John Lennon. B, Jerry Brown and Linda Ronstadt. C, Gerald Ford and Frank Sinatra. Reagan and Lennon, Brown and Ronstadt, Ford and Sinatra. Cappy.
I know this one as a matter of fact. Ford and Sinatra.
Okay. Tyler, remember you got to go different.
It's B.
You're going Jerry Brown, Linda Ronstadt. Greg.
It's probably that one, but I'm going to say Reagan Lennon.
Come on.
The correct answer.
I didn't
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Mace.
I am going to say
You want me to give you a choice?
Ronstadt Brown.
Okay.
I think Cappy's won.
The correct answer. Bergman got it. Reagan and Lennon. Mace is still alive for the Curtis.
Yeah,
Tyler
Cappy.
is out. It's 5-4. Cappy over Bergman and Mace going for history.
Yes.
And
And
here's
Tyler's
the last one. No, Cappy has to go first.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Tyler's out.
Yeah, Tyler and Brian are out. All right, Cap.
Yeah.
Everyone that watches Monday Night Football recognizes the familiar da-da-da, da-da-da. chords at the opening of the show.
Right.
Okay? Which has been a staple of the broadcast for years. Or no, it's not that one. It's da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I got confused. I thought we were doing
Yes, I was doing
Sports
Sports
Center.
Center.
Yeah.
No, the one we're doing is da-da-da-da.
Right.
Da-da-da-da. Okay. What is the actual name of that song? A, Game Time. B, Heavy Action. C, Monday Night Melody. Cap, is it Game Time, Heavy Action, or Monday Night Melody?
I'm going to go with A, Game Time.
Greg, that means you have to go with either
And
Heavy Action or Monday Night Melody. What do you choose?
I want Heavy Action.
The correct answer. Oh, Mace, your chance. Oh, Mace, Game Time, Heavy Action, or Monday Night Melody for the Curtis?
For the loss, Monday Night Melody.
The correct answer. Heavy Action.
Yeah,
Northman has tied it.
There you go,
Mace gets
Cappy.
the Curtis.
Yes.
Wow.
It's 5-5, and we go to the tie break. Way to
What
go,
a comeback.
Mace.
Yeah.
What a comeback by Bergie, and what a performance by Mace
Thank
today.
you. I've never felt so good about being wrong.
You missed all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them.
I think that's really strong.
You should get a prize like in Keno when you don't get any
When you
right.
don't get anything.
All right,
Exactly.
Greg.
Yes.
You and Cap for the win. I mentioned earlier that the Steelers have the most wins on Monday Night Football with 55.
Okay.
How many games have the Rams won on Monday night in team history? So obviously it's less than 55.
And it's including like St. Louis and
Yep.
all the way back.
Rams in any
Cleveland,
city they
the whole
played in.
deal.
Closest without going over. Cappy, did you write this one down?
Without
Greg, did
going
you-
over?
Yeah. Greg, did you write one down?
I will write one down.
Cappy, did you write one down?
I have written one down.
Written one down.
All right. You ready, Greg?
Yeah.
All right. Cap, what'd you write down?
I wrote down 10.
Greg?
I went slightly higher. I went 13.
The correct answer. The Los Angeles / St. Louis / Los Angeles Rams.
Cleveland Rams.
33 wins. Birdman with the comeback victory.
What a comeback by
Good
Bergie.
game, Cappy. Good game,
impressive.
Cappy.
What a comeback.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Rams have won 33 times on Monday night.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
No.
That's a lot of
Well,
wins.
By the way, that Kansas City Rams game I was at, that was like one of the great games I've ever been at.
I was there that night.
Were you
too,
there?
Mace,
It
and
was
I'll tell you,
crazy.
man, it was not only was it an amazing game because of the way the two quarterbacks played and all the offense that they'd put up, but remember that game was supposed to be in Mexico
Yep.
City. And we had all the wildfires in Southern California. In
Yes.
fact, a lot of the Rams players and coaches were displaced from their homes back
Yep.
then. And the NFL wisely went, wait a second, we're trying to ingratiate ourselves into the L.A. market. Let's move the game from Mexico City, put it in L.A.
You're leaving out an important element
Yeah.
of this story.
I believe her name is Shakira.
Shakira had a concert at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City where they were going to play the game, and the field was so torn up, Cap, that
Yeah.
they couldn't play there.
Yeah, but Johnny, what I'm getting at is,
Yeah.
I never really believed that to be the true story.
Really?
I always thought, like, you know what? This is more about let's not play the game in Mexico City. These players have been displaced. These coaches have been displaced. This is our opportunity to do what the NFL does: put on a big rock concert, have all the first responders there, and this is our way of making sure.
Wait a minute. Are you a Shakira denier?
I'm a field denier.
Yeah, well, why I think you're wrong is they were going to play that game in San Diego, and because of the fires, and they finally decided, okay, the fires in L.A. have calmed down enough, we can move it to L.A.
Right.
And so
but
they
remember,
moved to the Coliseum.
remember the show that night? Don't you? Was it who was it at halftime, Mace? Not Imagine Dragons, but it was some big pop
Definitely
group.
not Shakira.
No, and they had every sheriff and every firefighter.
they did.
They put on a show that night, and the commissioner was there, and every dignitary from around the league had come into L.A. I mean, to me, I never really bought into the whole field thing. It was just a convenient excuse.
I'll
just
tell you,
my own
this was
opinion.
one of the cool things about it. And you mentioned the first responders were there, and they gave out
Imagine
a
Dragons,
ton of
that's
free
who it
tickets.
was.
Was it Imagine Dragons?
Imagine Dragons. Yeah, I think that's who it was.
Because the tickets went on sale very, very late because that game got rescheduled.
They gave a lot of them away.
They gave a ton away, and Rams fans bought up the tickets too. So it was one of the best home field advantages I think the Rams have had because there were basically the tickets went on sale like 3 days before the game.
Hey, Brian, hit the super stager.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
La 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 la.
There you go. I think we got everybody in the house. Shadon, are you there?
I am.
How are you, man?
Oh, my God. I'm so happy to talk to you morons. I've been dealing with this doctors and broken hips for 2 weeks.
I mean, so we haven't talked about it because we didn't know if you were going to, but explain to everybody, George, why you've been gone.
My mom broke her hip. She was at my cousin's house, like she goes every Sunday, or was going every Sunday, just to hang out, lunch and grilling and all that. Their dining room to their living room has a step. She was talking, missed it, broke her hip.
Ouch. And how old's your mom?
83.
Yeah, so what I feel good about, and there's nothing good about the pain your mom is going through, but what I feel good about is at that age, that's how Chick Hearn passed away.
Yeah.
He took a fall and never recovered from it. So how's she doing now?
She's in a rehab facility. She hates the food, but nonetheless still going through therapy.
You're sneaking food in?
Yeah, well, right. We're bringing her food. I mean, and some of the stuff is actually good. Like, I had some of it today. I'm like, this is good. Like, I don't know what you're complaining about.
Was it like Jell-O and pudding and stuff like that?
No, dude, it was
in a rehab center with a broken hip, and George is giving her crap about complaining about the food.
I'm like, yo, it was fried chicken today. Like, I'm like, this is delicious.
That's kind of good.
That's
kind of good.
I might want to go get that tonight. That sounds good.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, I said, let me have a bite first. So because you've been complaining about the food, I'm like, this is delicious. And then she actually had most of the meal today. So I was just like, because the nurses keep telling me, he's like, she doesn't really eat a ton. I'm like, yeah, I know. Trust me. I get it.
Well, I'm glad it's going okay and she's getting better and all
we're
that
getting
stuff.
there.
Maybe she didn't want to have fried chicken. Do they have grilled chicken as an option?
They do have. They've said whatever she wants, we'll basically make it for her.
Hey.
Like it's almost like I've become a restaurant at this point. Jeez.
All right, so your biggest takeaway, Cap, I'll start with you. Your biggest takeaway from the NFL yesterday was what?
Well, I guess my biggest takeaway was in an overreaction world that we live in, there are some teams that I look at and I think are now great after 1 week, and there are other teams I look at and think they might as well wave the white flag after 1 week.
Right.
I look at the Dallas Cowboys last night humiliating the New York Giants. I look at the Green Bay Packers pulling into their rival, the Chicago Bears, and blowing them out. I look at a team like the Miami Dolphins, my Miami Dolphins, finding a way to get it done in Stan's house. I mean, oh yeah, come on.
That's for you, Cappy.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I just can't wait to overreact. I guess my takeaway, Johnny I, is I'm ready for overreactions.
Excellent.
Sonato, how about you?
Oh, my God. The Rams kicking the Seahawks' ass in the second half.
I agree with you, George.
Was incredible.
Yes.
And it's so funny because, during this whole offseason, Cappy's been saying I'm crazy because I think the Rams can be somewhere between an 8 and 10 win team. And you know what? Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford basically told Cappy to go eat it yesterday.
Exactly.
They were talking about him when they were cursing up a storm in that postgame.
Yeah, it's true. I will say, but George, just check me on this. When we were out at training camp, remember, I did say my prediction for the Rams this year. You remember?
Well, right. That day when we were actually at training camp, you said they'd go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Then the day before and then the day after, you then went back to being they're not a playoff team.
Yeah. Right. I just want to make it clear, though, that I said the Rams were going to the Super Bowl. Right.
But you also said other things.
Right.
You don't get
to
just pick and choose the things you said.
I didn't mean it, and I didn't believe it, but I did say it on the air.
You got sucked up in the atmosphere.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go, Rams are going to the Super Bowl, Rams suck, and then choose which one you like after they play a game.
I will say this, that it had to have gone down. I know we're the home of the Rams, but I mean, just looking at every game across the board all weekend long, and there were a lot of interesting games and some interesting scores. You're like, how'd that happen? But of every game on the league this weekend, the Rams on the road without Cooper Kupp, with all this talk about how Matthew Stafford can't communicate with young guys because that's what his wife told us, et cetera, et cetera. I do think the Rams beating the Seahawks on the road is the biggest shocker of the weekend, isn't it?
I really did not I mean, I'll just be honest. I did not expect the Rams to win the game. I thought if of those really tough games they got, San Francisco, Philly, I thought this was the one they could steal.
I took them. I made a prediction.
Take them out, right?
Yeah, we did. We do picks every week.
Yeah.
I picked the Rams.
Good for you, man.
By the way, guys, let me give you an
faith.
update. They have opened the field at MetLife Stadium.
Okay.
So
Good.
it looks like this game is going to start on time. They are predicting major
Weather.
thunderstorms.
You guys see the
at kickoff.
pictures?
Was that Hurricane Lee in that area already, or what's the deal?
I think it's like starting to rear its ugly head.
If we need information, we can always go to Dallas Raines, former backup quarterback for the Florida State Seminoles.
Kevin Feinstein was not a quarterback at Florida State.
You know, it's funny. I had Florida State this weekend. I could have found out if that's what he's really saying. I could have gone deep dive and investigated.
He and Burt Reynolds went to school together.
All right,
This picture, though, of MetLife Stadium with the gray clouds behind it where you can't even see New York City, I mean, it's pretty gnarly looking.
Yeah.
I hope this game goes off because I've been looking forward to this all weekend. It was a great weekend yesterday, great day of games, but this was the game I was most looking forward to in terms of games that I don't have like a rooting interest in.
Well, it's a monster ratings night for Monday Night Football and for ABC and for New York, and it's in New York on 9/11, so
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
they're going to do everything
It's
they
gonna be
can to get in
emotional,
there.
yeah.
All right,
And by the way, welcome back Spectrum.
Yeah, how
dude,
about
that's
that?
crazy.
just in time.
We got our
Crazy.
ESPN
You
back.
knew this was going to happen before Monday Night
No,
Football.
here's the thing, George. Over the weekend, we bought this thing called
Fubo.
Fubo.
We bought the Fubo. We had a week-long trial.
Yeah.
And we were able to get all the ESPN. I was able to watch all that stuff this morning, and then it broke, and everybody can watch it now, so I'm getting rid of Fubo.
Hey, let me
Yeah,
ask
see
you
ya,
guys-
Fubo.
See
let me
ya.
ask
Bye,
you guys-
Fubo.
Let me ask all you guys a quick question because one of my favorite things about listening to the Mason and Ireland show is when you guys talk history and you guys talk about the history of the show. I'm curious. It's 22 years after the fact, and tonight, like you mentioned, Johnny I mean, everybody's going to be watching, and it is New York City, it is Aaron Rodgers, but it is 9/11. I'm curious. Everybody have a story as to where and when, like where they were when it all went down?
Oh, I remember where I was.
Let me hear yours.
I mean, I was in Miami. I was working. I had just gotten laid off by I was working for a radio station, Cap. You'll remember this, on the experimental dial, 1700 The Fan. They had just gone under, and so I was working courier for a buddy of mine's business for a few months before I jumped on to another station. And I remember waking up that morning, and I turned on the TV, and everything the first tower had already been hit. So, and then as I was watching I was watching the Today Show, and then that's when they were literally live talking about the second tower being hit. I was able to see that, and then I went to work, and my buddy who was my boss was like, "No, dude, let's just all go home. Let's just kind of like nobody's going to do anything today." And I remember just being glued to the coverage until I fell asleep on my couch. Probably, I don't know, 2-3 in the morning.
How about you fellas?
I was it happened early in the morning, and I was living in the Hollywood Hills, and Lisa was 8 months pregnant. She was asleep, and the first plane hit the tower, and I'm like, I didn't think it was a terrorist attack. I thought a plane lost control.
Right.
And just came in too low and hit the tower. And so I had it on, and I was watching, and then the second plane hit a tower, and I woke her up.
Right.
I go, we're under attack.
Yeah.
So I was, this will surprise nobody, asleep.
Right.
And
so your experience was you woke up and found out all about this.
I could hear in my head. I could hear people like upset outside because I was living in a condo. I could hear other people.
Were you in New
upset.
York?
No, I was here,
Okay.
and I was sound asleep. And by the time I got out of bed, the towers were gone.
Yeah.
I didn't. See
they had already fallen.
They had
Yeah.
already fallen. So Mason sleeps through everything.
You guys will appreciate this. So it's like 5:50 a.m. and I had moved from New York City to San Diego.
Oh, you were not there for it. Okay.
So I moved from New York City to San Diego in April of 2001. My son was born in May of 2001. And so it's September 11th, and it's 5:50 a.m. And again, you guys will appreciate this. I'm sitting in the radio studios of Extra Sports 690.
Yep.
I know a lot of sports radio listeners who listen to 710 remember that old school station. And I'm with my partner at the time, Billy Ray Smith.
Yep.
And I say something weird's going on because we had 9 Zenith 27-inch box TVs in the studio 22 years ago. And I said, something weird's going on in New York. I don't know, some plane like ran into the World Trade Center. There's black smoke. We come on the air, and it's like 6:02 a.m. or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, hey, everybody, something weird's kind of going on in New York. We'll keep our eye on it. And then all of a sudden, the second plane hits. And like a moron, I say to him, I go, dude, they have like a replay of the plane crashing in. He goes, no, man, that's the other tower. And at that moment, we knew. I have goosebumps thinking about it because I've gotten a lot of response from people today. We're like, dude, 22 years ago, I woke up that morning, I turned on the radio, and you told the story. And, I mean, I can't believe 22 years has gone by, fellas.
Well,
I mean, really.
And, you think about this. There are a lot of kids who have this is like history and doesn't feel real to them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't alive for it. And so you try to convey that and get people to understand that that was a significant historical disaster.
Totally.
Well, have George and Cappy, have you guys seen the movie United 93?
Yeah.
I've not seen that. That's the one where they are going to take down the guys are going to take down the plane.
Plane that crashes in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the 6 guys in the back of the plane, including a rugby player from Cal, stormed the cockpit and took the plane down. They think it was heading for the White House, but there were heroes on that plane. And I forgive me for those of you who heard me do this earlier, but I always tell people, if you're trying to explain 9/11, tell anybody who doesn't understand it to watch United 93. They shot it in real time. There's no name actors in it. You won't recognize any big names in the movie. But the people that they use in the control tower for that movie were the people that were in the tower that day.
No way.
And Paul Greengrass, who did all the Bourne movies, is the director. And it is nonstop in real time. It starts when they left the hotel in Boston, and it ends when the plane hits the ground in Pennsylvania. Wow. And it covers everything, the confusion, the planes. Do we take out all the planes out of the sky? They had an order to shoot down any plane that wouldn't communicate back to them. So if somebody had a radio problem and they couldn't communicate, they were just going to shoot the plane down. It was mass chaos. And United 93 is one of the most gripping movies I've ever seen. So if you, Cappy, at some point,
I got to check it out.
Watch it. And it'll mess with your head. I had to walk around the theater twice just to get my wits about me because it was so traumatic.
Damn.
One thing I wanted to, since we're on this subject, and I just made a donation. There are now as many New York firefighters who have died from working on that pile and all that toxic stuff than actually died on 9/11.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of weird cancer and all this stuff for standing there. So I'll tweet out a link. You can make a contribution.
Yeah, do it, please, Mace. That's
because,
cool.
It's just stunning, the people that were out there working and now the life that they're dealing with and the illnesses they're dealing with.
Yeah, and listen, I didn't mean to bring anybody down, but think about this from a sports perspective. What happened thereafter, again, back to younger people who don't remember this, what happened thereafter was they canceled the NFL weekend. I remember Vinny Testaverde is the quarterback of the Jets and Michael Strahan is kind of the star of the Giants. And these guys were down in that area in ground zero, doing things, just helping, assembly line, anything they could do to help. And then when it was President Bush, as I recall, he threw out a first pitch at a Yankee game. Does that sound right to everybody?
Yes.
And the way
in the World Series.
Right. And the way America, at the time, came together at that moment, I mean, what has happened in 20 years, forget about politics and opinions and all that stuff. I can't believe it's been 22 years, guys.
Well, and what's weird about that, too, and, the world is kind of fractured now, but for that period of time, everybody was on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. I often wonder, Cappy, so you left just before 9/11.
Just before, and I remember that morning when I started to see those buildings, I said to Billy Ray in the studio, I go, how will they get up there and fix those buildings? What a dummy. You know what I mean? I had no idea. I was 31 years old. What a dummy. I'm like, how are they going to get up there and fix them? And then, boom, they came down.
Yeah.
And I remember calling my wife, my ex-wife, and she was on the phone calling people. And I had this one friend of mine who lived in the same building that we did on the Upper East Side. And he called me, and he was running. He had left the World Trade Center, and he ran to, the river, and he just started running. He rode a motorcycle. He just left it, and they were told, everybody just run uptown. Just run, move.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Sedano and Cap are back in together
And
for
are
the
you
first
gonna-
time in a couple of weeks.
I know we've had this conversation, and it's an important conversation to have, but do you have football analysis and stupidity on the way?
Tons of football analysis, tons of stupidity, and Puka Nakua is going to join us at 4:30.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
psyched
exciting.
about that.
I can't wait to. You heard the nickname there. I don't know if he knows it.
No. What is it? What do you want to call him?
Puka Doncic. No. That went.
It's kind of cute. It's kind of funny.
It's
It took
kinda
me a
funny.
second.
Yeah.
But like once I figured it out, like Luka Puka, that's kind of funny.
Puka. Yeah, I don't know. Ask him about it. Goof around. What time?
4:30.
Okay, I will be here for that. Guys, have a great show. We're back tomorrow at 1. Mason and Ireland, 7.